Ready? Hello, folks. Welcome to Goblet Games. What beverage are you showing off there, Ben?
I've stolen some of my wife's fruity cider.
Nice.
Not really.
I have some beer.
I have tea.
Tea.
Yeah.
Beer.
Whiskey.
Nice. Welcome to Star
Commander.
Trek Endurance.
The endurance is.
Hey, folks. Welcome to Goblet Games. My name's Millie, the GM. We're going to play some Star Trek Adventures. But before we kick off that, why don't we say hello to everybody? Hey, how you doing, Lewis? You all right?
I'm all right. And tonight I'm playing Vesvenin again.
Yeah. Again, still, we've not managed to kill off any of our crew so far.
Oh,
Good.
So
We'll
far.
keep it that way.
Fingers crossed. It's good to hear you well. How are you, Ben, with your stolen cider?
I am rather splendid. Thank you for asking. And tonight I shall be playing along with Resh and hopefully changing uniform colour.
Ooh, maybe. We'll see. Down there, tried our best to kill Tosh last week. Didn't quite manage it. How are you, Pete, and how is Tosh?
I'm good. I'm nearly fully recovered from my long bout of illness, hence the beer. And Tosh has recovered from his wounds and is now stronger than ever.
Ah, we have the technology.
Yep.
And then with the fabulous eyebrows, by the eyebrows of Grelek. How are you, Dean?
I'm very well. Eyebrows are strong with me this evening.
Yes, the eyebrows are strong. Thank you for the many filters.
That's fun with technology. Yes, I will be playing Lieutenant Commander Grelek of the Vulcan Science Academy and bring some order and logic to this motley crew.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. So last week we were on a strange planet, and we were trying to find out the Pentagonians, what they were up to. It's not their real name. But we were trying to find out what these Pentagonians were up to, and why the Romulans were interested. A medical staff member initiated combat. That was a bit brutal. It was a little.
It was.
Yeah. But we prevailed. We went down to a room so we could lick some monoliths.
For science.
For science, yes. And then we had a very TOS-like moment where big faces were projected into space, and then we were teleported all the way home, which is
quite
The
far.
effects were better.
But the effects were magnificent, yes. Mm-hmm. And then we had a briefing with Admiral Herbert, in which we found out we're about to go into a war council. And that was roughly where we ended. Oh, we've already been given momentum, which reminds me, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Where are my buttons? So this one, this session gives me, need to double check actually. It's quite a hefty threat start for this game.
Oh.
This one.
Oh,
One threat.
One.
Pretty threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's threat.
That's like a whole threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0 or 1, isn't it?
You don't really need more than one, do you?
Binary
Just a
threat.
threat.
Yeah.
I know threat. 11011.
We're threatened. Oh, the binars.
They were great. Useless but great. Games Master begins this mission with 3 points of threat for each player character in the group.
Whoa! Oh my god.
3,
Ouch,
6,
I thought
9,
you weren't allowed
12.
more than 6.
Well,
Is that just us?
the game is
Uh,
no, that's the players. Players that don't get more than 6, I think.
I'm
Posh,
picking up a
maybe
Dideridex on the
preemptively
sensors.
We're all dead.
report to the medical bay.
Just get there
I would
fast.
like to request a transfer, please.
Yeah, just get there fast. Pendex up to something. All right, so the
Mr. Pendek, please report to the lockable toilet on deck 7.
please go and sit in a
If we
It's
leave them
lockable
on
from
the
the
station,
outside.
if
We
we
all
leave them
know
on
the
the
Please
station,
move
station,
to
does
the
the number go
dolphin
down?
bay. The dolphins will look
Dolphin
after you
bay.
now.
Wherever we put him, he's just going to grow weed and make alcohol.
And
So
shoot
cetacean
someone.
ops will do just fine.
Yes.
Cetaceans will be well up for that.
all up for it.
Oh yeah.
I saw that Lower Decks episode.
That was
That
cool.
was brilliant. I love the
Yeah.
idea of cetacean ops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every ship's got one.
And so this we're currently in takes place concurrently with the Star Trek Deep Space Nine season 3 finale, The Adversary. That was what I was trying to remember last week.
The one with the changelings running around on the Defiant.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
so around about there. As Captain Whitmore is inevitably always engaged in other things, Thenon, our XO, do you, as we have like that panning shot of Narendra Station, there's a strange crystalline looking ship outside, a couple of Klingon birds of prey and stuff flying around. Do you want to do the opening monologue?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure. Commander's log, stardate 4896 4.5. We're docked at Narendra Station under red alert conditions and on our way to a war council with Admiral Herbert and General Kargan and the senior staff of the other allied ships stationed here. I suspect we'll be ordered back to the Candidate 3 system, which will likely suit myself and the crew just fine. Last time we left rather unwillingly, and I still have a few words I'd like to have with the Assessor Tredic if we get a chance.
And so as
End log.
as the voiceover sort of fades, we're back in that room, you know, where we had the big science briefing up on the top of Narendra Station, and it's mostly full of Starfleet personnel, but there is like a chunk of Klingon KDF force there. We recognize like the doctor there. She's looking cross that she's been drawn away from like more important things of stopping young Klingons dying, or at least dying on the station, kind of thing. And General Akul, Captain Akul is there with his crew, throwing, like, not literally because they have a few of them, but throwing daggers towards Resh. Like there's this proper like, hate that crew. Yeah, go fight. Bring it, guys. And
then can I borrow your Russian tour?
But I might need it.
and then there's also the other ships. So there's the Vulcan command crew, mostly Vulcan command crew of the Thunderchild, and then also the command crew from the Venture with Ras, who is the Andorian XO there, who's very cross. He doesn't get to do the pew-pews on a diplomacy vessel. It's like, I just want to do the... Yeah, very jealous of everybody else getting in all the action where he just goes to places and talks. And then down at the bottom, as we fill in like this sort of seating, like the amphitheater style, so everybody can look at the folks speaking. Down there, we spot, and maybe we didn't notice it was him at first because he's wearing gold, not red. It's Captain Whitmore, and he's talking with Admiral Herbert and Captain Akul, General Akul. I'm getting all the names wrong. The brass. He's down there and he's talking with them, and he's got some like pads, and they're having a sort of conversation. There's a moment where he looks up and he scans out into the seats, and he makes eye contact with you, Thenon, and he like nods and smiles, and then goes back into whatever he's talking with these folks. So you have a moment or two if you want to go over and antagonize the Vulcans some more, or dash off and see somebody. You have a moment or two of that. I should check in. Pete, is Tosh there, or are they still in Med Bay or somewhere else?
I think Tosh is probably just arriving, having been delayed by his medical procedure, but wanting to get out there and be involved and see what's going on.
Okay, so is there like a moment where you have maybe like a comms, and we can hear Robert Picardo's voice saying, I strongly advise against this course of action. You should be on bed rest for a further 12 hours.
12 hours? Nonsense. I've got to get out there. They're all going to make stupid decisions without me. Look what happened last time, I'll say, pointing over my shoulder.
And then so Tosh
You
walks
to
in.
deactivate the emergency medical hologram.
I am
And, I
just,
walk out the room.
and then so
I
you
must remember to redesign his physical appearance. I think a Tellarite doctor would be much more pleasing to the crew.
I'm sure Pendek would be well up for that. He's already been talking about changing the program. But I think that's...
And I'm going to beam
Oh God.
to just outside the...
Oh, so you're going to save
as
yourself.
close as I can. I assume there'll be some security and possibly like dampening fields and stuff, so you can't just beam right into the center of their big presentation with all the brass. But I will beam as close as possible, and then
there'll be a transporter room somewhere nearby that you can beam to. The chief there nods, and there's like you could just have a word with Pendek about bypassing the biofilters again. It's really, I'm getting in so much trouble. Be great. And he nods as you head in. Just straight pace.
I'll just be like, "Arr," and just walk straight in.
Pendek's potion is going to get through.
Do we see Tosh come in?
Yeah, I guess you will. Yeah, I mean, there's most folks are filtering already in, so Tosh is one of the final few.
I'll say to everyone with me from the crew, everyone up, as Tosh comes in.
Is there something wrong with your chair, Commander?
Nothing at all, Tosh. Nothing at all.
Kind of look a bit embarrassed and sort of nod. And you might hear the odd little servo moving or thrum of kind of some sort of energy going on. And I'll take a seat, being very careful of my brand new spinal cord. To just, without even thinking, subconsciously, I'm like very gingerly sort of leaning back on it.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Okay. So Tosh takes a seat. Does anybody else go and antagonize, engage with, high five, or check in with any of the other crews before
Antagonize?
Well,
who is there to antagonize? Come on, I need cheering up. I've been under the knife for the last 24 hours.
So I suppose Tosh wouldn't have seen it. Like the Thunderchild's crew, the Akira class, they are mostly Vulcans who offered a high level of Vulcan sass towards Grelek last time we were in this room.
Gas was returned.
Yes, and there was a good trading of shots. And then there is the Ventures crew, who are the Galaxy class, who are mostly just kind of like, chill, calm, collected.
Just lounging around smoking.
Yeah. Diplomacy crew for the win, that kind of stuff. And with their Ras, their second in command, their XO, who doesn't really do all the fun stuff. He is frustrated in his role on the venture.
I'm seriously considering asking if we can have him on to support tactical for us, since it looks like the captain might be busy.
Mm-hmm.
When isn't the captain busy?
When has the captain actually been on the Felicity Aston in whole six episodes? Never.
5 minutes at the beginning?
Yeah, he drove us in.
I think it was.
No, in fact, he met us there.
Yeah, he didn't even drive us in. He met us there,
True.
came on board, went into his ready room, signed some paperwork, and left.
You doc.
Yeah.
Got all his Section 31 files and left.
Empowering, he's giving encouragement.
He's a hands-off manager.
I trust my crew.
He definitely does.
So I'm going to fuck off. I got to go wind up a few Vulcans just to cheer myself up.
Okay. Just in general?
Just for fun.
You just go over there and...
Yeah, nothing in particular. Just, you might see me sort of suddenly go, oh, and wander off and be like, oh.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a moment where you're antagonizing the Akira crew, the Thunderchild's crew, about their inefficient warp drive, or how they can't get anywhere in a what's the point of all the guns? You just take so long, all that kind of stuff. And they're like, well, it's illogical. It's just an efficient use of power and that kind of stuff. And
shunting it all through your EPS conduits that quickly, from weapons to engines, you can't even get up to full impulse within 3 seconds of firing your main phaser banks. Nonsense.
Is the Thunderchild's chief engineer another Vulcan, or have they opted for somebody else? What was the logical choice for Captain Satak to pick for her engineering chief? What do we reckon? Anybody? Chat,
Probably
quick.
a Vulcan.
Is it a Vulcan?
Yeah.
Probably.
Vulcan.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
totally, there's too many Vulcans on that ship already, and even the Vulcans
Well,
would turn around and go.
It feels
maybe."
like we need to lose to them in a baseball match.
Yeah, I
to be
know.
happy
Yeah.
about
I was
it.
thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, it is a Vulcan.
Maybe they have Binars as their engineer.
Maybe.
They don't have a
Probably.
chief engineer. They have two.
Binar engineers. Okay.
Going anywhere near Binars.
Okay.
That
So,
They'll hack my spine.
well, yeah, I know.
Cool.
So the chief engineer, who is probably a Vulcan, raises an eyebrow at Tosh in a. Yeah, I know Tellarites are here to antagonize me. I think you will find all of our systems are at optimal performance levels with adequate secondary and tertiary backups for performing at 100%. I can see no
100%
reason.
of what? I think you need to have a check of your definition of optimal.
And he
Wouldn't stand for it on the Felicity Aston.
117% or nothing. Literally, we overclock it to 117%, blow out the EPS conduits, and then we've got nothing.
we run bioneural gel packs for all our systems.
You only did that once.
Yeah. So as Tosh and the unnamed engineer are having, I guess it's a whale of a time for Tosh, because this guy is just being more and more Vulcan.
Oh, please,
Absolutely.
can his name be Fanar?
Sure.
Fanar.
Fanar, the Thunderchild's engineer.
Love it.
Let me just make a note of that. As that happens, any other folks who are a bit more surreptitiously watching the command, like the flag officers and folks down below, Captain Whitmore hands General Corrigan a pad, and then Corrigan makes his way to like the lectern there, bangs his fist on it in that sort of Klingon pay attention to me manner. If he did, if this was a Klingon, he'd have a big metal ball
Ball.
thing. He doesn't have one of them, so he just bangs his fist. There is like an echo of like stamping from some of the other Klingon captains. This is like a regular way of the command gaining attention from everybody. And after a moment or two, Starfleet folk drift back to their chairs, and he stands wielding this pad, almost like it's some sort of blade, as he's our deep space intelligence assets believe they have recorded traces of cloaked Romulan warbirds crossing the neutral zone and entering the outer edges of our sector. We believe they are moving in on the Candidate 3 system to lay claim to the technological treasures gathered there. In discussion, and he like swings across to Admiral Herbert. In discussion with the Admiral, we have decided to send all 3 Federation ships to secure and defend the Candidate 3 system for our purposes, and to deny it to the enemy. And there's like this whoa, 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 whoa kind of thing from the Klingons. Captain Akul and his vessel will remain on point here at Narendra Station in case the Romulans are foolish enough to attempt to attack us while you are away. And he's got that grin of like, go on, I want them to. Really, please, come here and have a go sort of face. And there is like a cheer and like, yeah, fight from the Klingons, and a number of concerned looking faces from the rest of the Starfleet officers around. Relek puts his hand up. I see.
Yes, he was talking about the deep space assets, and
Mhm.
we have visited Candidate 3 system and observed
Um,
and interacted with these priceless ancient relics of which you speak. They are not entirely polite.
Indeed, but from your report, we hear that the Romulans have already attempted polite engagement with. And he looks at the pad, and you can see him squinting. Like, this is a Klingon that should probably be wearing glasses, but won't wear glasses, or have any sort of medical, because that would make him weak. And you see him, he does this. as he's adjusting the vision, maybe upping the font on the pad, like beep, 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 making it big font. This Tredic you spoke with might be key, as you have had relations.
Tredic. Mm.
Big font is warrior's font.
Warrior's font, yeah.
Loud, shouty font.
The letters weren't spiky enough for him to be able to read them.
The
Add
Romulans,
more serifs.
the Romulans were distinctly less successful in their communication efforts with Assessor Tredic.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe that is a major concern,
Yes.
although their breaching of the neutral zone treaty is clearly the primary political and diplomatic intent.
Diplomancy, as he says.
Spit.
We will leave this to some of your Federation diplomats. And you can see like the Venture crew like, oh yeah, great, cool. That's us, yeah.
Fenton will nod over at the Venture XO.
What is his
He's just
name?
doing pews in the corner.
Ras is just like, more diplomacy. But we will leave this to you. I am to take Akul and my Klingon defense force to what is he going? He's basically going to go off and start planning air defense, not air defense, but patrol routes and distribution of Klingon assets around their interstation. And Admiral Herbert steps forward and is indeed, we should discuss some of our options for returning to the Candidate 3 system. I would like both the Thunderchild and the Venture to accompany the Felicity Aston. We think we should have as much of a presence around the planet as possible. If some of your junior officers have things to attend to on ships, by all means, I would like your bridge crew to remain. And you see, like, I don't know, like the other ship's pen decks and folks are like, oh, okay, we've been sent home, thanks, kind of thing, as they all sort of trail out. And you're given a moment or two more to kind of talk amongst yourselves or go and high five if after this you're all going to the Candidates 3 system again has been dropped. Or we sit patiently and wait.
I don't know, is there a replicator in there?
Yeah, there's a replicator in this room, yeah.
It's Ractigino and Donuts time.
Okay.
I'm going to prepare a paper for all the other ships on how to improve their warp cores to keep up with us when we head out to Candidate 3 system.
Okay, so you start tapping away quickly.
I will be sharing the improvements we have made to our sensor array.
Oh, so you go over to, just in general, or like Bluetooth it to everybody?
I'm specifically going to walk over to the Thunderchild to help them.
Sofek, Commander Sofek, who is your counterpart on the Thunderchild, is like, greetings, Grelek.
Greetings.
I trust you are well.
I am functional. And you?
I am well. And she wrinkles her nose and takes a step back. I see your crew is still pungent.
Do I see that?
Yeah.
I'm going to walk over and stand next to Grelek. I'm not going to say anything,
Yeah.
but I know I probably stink to a Vulcan. So
Yeah.
I'm going to walk closer if she's wrinkled her nose.
Yeah, so she does. She steps back. I see your crew is still as pungent as ever. And then Tosh arrives. And she just like, if a Vulcan could be like, she would, but she doesn't.
I have learnt that a diversity of perspective and life experience can actually contribute to the efficiency of a crew as opposed to a single thought form.
Once the inefficiency of the emotional outbursts has been taken into account, I assume it would be optimal, yes?
I think you will find that they are capable of being professional.
Starfleet does make allowances.
Mm,
How are
here
you?
we are.
Are you here to merely exchange pleasantries, or is there a point to
No,
this
that
engagement?
would be inefficient and suboptimal. I am here to share the information that our chief engineer and I have on improving sensor arrays so that we are better equipped to deal with both the remnants of the ancients and the Romulans who are causing incursions into this sector.
So there is like a data transfer.
That's me, by the way.
She looks down towards you in a
I'm the chief engineer, Tosh. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you're not the incursion into the sector.
Yeah.
That too.
She after the data transfer between the pads, she clasps her hands behind her back.
Oh, I'm not going to do the transfer. I'm going to make Tosh do the transfer.
Oh,
Tosh, if you would be so kind.
So yeah, she extends a pad out towards you, Grelek.
I'm not sure, Grellick. It's pretty complicated.
They'll manage.
Okay. I'll pull out one of my pads and do a bit of transfer of data.
Yeah, she looks perfectly comfortable and not at all put out by this. Accepts the data and then looks at it in a.
I've simplified some of the calculations for you and already put in some of your ship's specifications to simplify.
She looks at it. She doesn't do the Klingon I can't read this up close thing. She does look at it, and raises a Vulcan eyebrow. Fascinating. I shall spend a moment or so studying this. Thank you, Grelek. Gosh. And I guess she does. She live long and prospers you.
Live long and prosper.
And leaves.
Can I Vulcan high five it?
She does. So she live long and prospers.
I know what it is. I'm not going to do that.
And she looks at you as you return it.
I'll just do the thing with my little pig hands.
Trotter. Trotters are kind of made for it, aren't they?
Yeah. Perfect.
This time next year, Rodney.
Grellick will give Tosh a live long high five if he's still holding it out there.
Just keeping it out.
Don't want to leave you hanging.
Yeah.
So as we return, the room is sort of gathered back into attention. Admiral Herbert is stood at the lectern next to Captain Whitmore, and they look around the room. And Captain Whitmore does this kind of thing, and Admiral Herbert's doing this kind of thing, and that kind of stuff. One of her adjutants comes over, and they have like a pad and like a small box. They place it on the lectern, and Admiral Herbert looks around the room, fixes his eyes with Thenon, and says, "That's Thenon. Will you please come down here?"
Okay. Yeah, Fass will get up and straighten his uniform, walk down.
Yeah. Mr. Thenon, you have risen through the ranks of Starfleet with courage and grace. You have exhibited bravery and honor in the most difficult of situations and defended the Federation to the best of your ability. You have done great things and earned the respect and admiration of everybody who will call you Captain. May you see all the stars in the universe, Captain Thenon, and return to tell us all their secrets. And I assume the whole amphitheater just erupts in like, yeah, do it! Except for the Klingons who do this. As Admiral Herbert places the fourth pip upon Thenon's collar.
Got to find it now.
There's obnoxious Tellarite hooping in the background.
Wrong side.
Yeah.
What's the appropriate Andorian response to this? Because I'll do that.
Probably screaming.
Ululating of some kind.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will be singing the ancient song of advancement in its original Vulcan.
Sinterklaas,
Have you got your lute?
I'll quickly make me a Vulcan lute. Yes, I'll be strumming that.
Yeah.
Replicators just fire up, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Full
Captain
jazz band in the background.
Captain Whitmore smiles rather happily at you, and does the nod like, "Are you going to say the thing? You can say the thing." Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You're going to say? As he stands in front of you, and he says, "Are you ready to take the Felicity Aston, Captain Thenon?"
Yes.
I am relieved. And he reaches out.
You stand relieved, sir.
Yes, I am relieved. He reaches out. He shakes your hand. There's further
Got the
whooping.
whistle. Quick, get the whistle.
The adjutant does the whistly thing, and we promote Thenon to captain. And he says, "Well,
Yay.
congratulations. I always knew you could, Thenon. I think you're about
Thank you, sir.
to lead a party of some of the greatest Starfleet ships off to defend a planet from Romulans and who knows what. No pressure on your first mission, friend. And he taps you on the shoulder, like you've got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once the room has calmed down, and so on and so forth, Admiral Herbert kind of takes a moment, and she says, Captain Thenon will be in charge of this small band of ships. We wish you to get to the Candidate 3 system as soon as possible. We fear whatever the Romulans were looking for, they will not be put off by their initial engagement and the further incursions that. And she pauses. You see, she pauses before she says something. The Klingons have discovered are concerning. If you have any adjustments, changes to staff, requirements from their administration, I suggest you get them underway now. There are briefing rooms ready if you need to speak with the other captains, then I will be at your call, but there are other concerning matters I need to address at large within the Federation. Defend the Candidate 3 system. We'll get in touch soon. Best speed, good luck. And she leaves. Leaves you sort of there with everybody. Data being...
Pass you a little Andorian waffle and a little cardboard pot. Okay. Not bad going. You've only been a captain for 2 minutes and you're a Commodore already.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Does that mean I get to put the little...
I know, right? Yeah, so the other two captains come over. Congratulations. Rather formal of congratulations from Sitak. Our captain, I can't remember what his name from the venture. Holbach, that's it. Captain Holbach is humanly excited to see you, like full of emotion. He's like, this is amazing. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to working with you, Thenon. What a mission. What are your thoughts on what
Thank you.
You've been there. What is it we should expect?
Well, and this is difficult because I wasn't there last time. But
no, I know. So you can bring in like your crew and be like, the mission, the report.
I think we'd best hold a little get together with the senior staff before we get underway. So bring everyone in and get everyone in a little ante room.
Okay. Are you going to hold it on the Rindra, or do you want to make them all come to your ship?
That does sound fun.
Mm-hmm. Exerting authority straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We'll use the Aston's
briefing room, yeah?
Briefing room, yeah.
They have that little room, don't they? With that desk.
Yeah.
Big windows. All right. So unless anybody wants to do ridiculous shenanigans on the Rindra station for the next moment or so.
Simon's not here, don't worry.
That's okay. Just check in. Just going to check in, see what, potent
I wouldn't
Pendex.
put it past Simon to like swing through on the Zoom call and go, I blow up the power cord.
Maybe. So we fade. Do you want to do anything before the other captains arrive? Is there anything other folks need to do, check in with, anything they want to go through? Okay.
Stocks and supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I suppose at this point, we'll have a little senior Aston staff meeting first.
Sure.
Because, I'm going to need a full-time XO now.
Yeah, definitely. So
I tell Lieutenant Sakan to run a full weapons diagnostic.
All right. He's on it. Yes, ma'am.
He's a good lad.
He's on it. So we convene. So there is Captain Thenon. We have Resh, Tosh, Grelek. On the screen behind us, on the wall, we have Robert Picardo in his guise as the Doctor. Probably informing Tosh to sit down. Stop moving. My surgery is the best in Starfleet, but Even
Somebody turn that program off.
I'll mute it at that point.
But Captain, we have hollow emitters fitted within the briefing room.
Do they?
Why not?
I didn't think they did. I thought you always.
No, they don't. Voyager did that after the fact, didn't they?
Yeah.
They built hollow
They
emitters
were
through the
fit,
ship.
but I had them removed.
And even if we do have them, we're not going to tell the EMH.
Yeah.
It is most efficacious for briefings and tactical displays.
Fair. Okay.
True.
So yeah. So you've got you've got Resh, you've got Tosh, you've got Grelek. Do we have an NPC we want to make to bring in here for the crew, or is Sekan here, who is like Resh's second in command on the security sort of team, Alpha Team 1 or whatever they have? Do we have our Torin Korin?
Night Watch. The one
Torrin
where-
Corrin.
Torin Korin, our
Torin Curran, the pilot.
Yeah.
pilot, is
Torin
he there?
pilot.
Yeah. We have all the faces.
Yeah,
there?
why not?
Okay.
Why not?
So we have the
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
Ashton sort of senior staff.
Do we have a human in the room?
A token human.
Yeah, just a representation.
I don't think
Well,
we
the
do.
EMH is technically.
Are we allowed? Are we
based
allowed
on-
Starfleet meetings without a
Right.
human in the room? I thought that wasn't allowed.
I mean, our captain just ditched on us, so we.
Oh, sorry, it's not
The
Mirror
f-
Universe. I forgot.
Yeah, the Thunder Child doesn't seem to care, so.
No, they don't really have. They
Yeah,
don't
but
really
they're
have.
clearly all racist.
They have one human that they
believe that-
move around the ship
Mhm.
for vital meetings.
Yeah.
They put like one of the finest warships in the fleet. Just they're so dull.
Well, that's why they have the
Well,
warship.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's generally Starfleet
He's super cautious.
protocol to not blow things up willy-nilly.
I think they
Um,
generally don't give warships to the people who are saying, "Give me a warship."
Yeah.
Let me have it. I want to go.
So, Resh, I'd watch out if I were you.
I'm putting that on my
Yeah.
profile for next
The
year. Thanks,
first
Touch.
rule of Warship Club is not to ask for a warship.
All right, so we've promoted Zenon to captain, which means we do have an XO position.
Mhm.
Player wise, do we want to? Are we happy in our roles? Do we want? Does Resh want to become the XO? And it's completely like no.
Rush is absolutely champing at the bit
Okay,
for the seat. Whether
But
it's
we're an
appropriate or not
exploration vessel.
is someone else's. But she is a career officer.
Yeah,
And
but see, yeah, if we play it right and the Thunder Child loses a captain, you know.
I see.
I'll need to
open.
be at least the commander to get that seat.
yeah.
It's
So
true.
do we want to? Is that what happens then? And do you promote Resh to become your XO?
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
does Tosh come out of engineering to become the security? Does Grelix? No, I'm just options here.
Tosh is like in his element. He's like head of engineering, gets to do cool stuff with a cutting edge ship.
Is now at least half warp core.
Exactly.
Half Warp Core. Grelick is Chief Science Officer of a
Science vessel.
Science
science
vessel.
vessel.
That's vessel.
Okay.
He's pinnacled, really.
Excellent.
I mean, yes, being captain would be cool because then we could just do lots more sciencey
Just
stuff.
do the
But
science.
Maybe the pilot should be the XO then.
Hmm.
We're gonna get
Well, now I-
Torrin to go straight from ensign to commander. Boom.
Tom Paris, what about him?
Hey,
What's he doing?
it happened in Discovery, didn't it? The ensign became the XO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Um,
And look how well that worked out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
but we're saying so. Resh shifts from gold to red, and becomes
Yeah.
the XO.
And we can promote Sakan to tactical because he doesn't actually need a promotion. He's already a lieutenant and he can be a lieutenant and a tactical officer.
Okay, and then Resh gets little scratches off the black bit on a pip and
Yeah.
becomes commander. Commander
Colour
Resh.
it in with the yellow pen.
Yeah, it gets a sharpie out. Okay.
I've already got it in your hand, ready for the moment. Come on, say it.
And then in the other hand, there's a knife.
Just turns up in a red uniform with 3 pips.
Just
I
Well
doesn't.
didn't
done,
mean to
Captain.
assume, but you've got no choice.
You take it off me. I dare you. Come on. Right. Like that.
The
Okay.
ship on a 4-shift rotation. We're ready to go, Captain.
All right. So we have a couple of shifts in personnel, shifts in roles. There is customary congratulations, people standing in the corridors, like clapping and that kind of stuff as folks arrive. Then we cut to the ready room, to the briefing room. What are we trying to brief about? Like, what's on the screens before the other captains arrive and their exos turn up or their chiefs of security come in? What do we want to science or plan or plot? What is our...
I think we're going to give them a brief rundown of our previous encounter,
Okay.
including our interaction with the Romulans and with the assessor.
Mm-hmm.
We should raise the
And what
question
they
of
could
the
expect.
Romulan
Yeah.
ship being unmanned and almost floating dead in space without the cloaking device on,
Mm-hmm.
while their crew were down on the surface. So the
Very
planet may
limited
have other
number.
Romulans on it.
Okay.
They may be elsewhere. If I could suggest that we have 2 streams of data, one, the science on the remnants on the Tindikal, and what we have discovered on our 2 encounters with them, and the second part being the tactical planning for how to deal with any Romulan presence.
Okay.
Captain.
Certainly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like you to brief them on the science part.
I have
Here
a
comes the
stack
science
of
bit.
data pads ready.
Yeah.
Captain, I do find it strange that those
Short
Klingons
briefing.
are not joining in the potential fight straight away. I thought they'd all be wanting to head up there to face the
Yes,
Romulans.
that it does seem
I was
suspicious,
going to lay
but-
into them in front of everybody, but I thought I might get stabbed with one of those batlets.
No, you'd be more likely to get stabbed with a dick-tang in a meeting like that.
Everybody knows you start with the dictator and move your way up.
yeah.
On the left.
The EMH is just screaming at this point.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised at the Klingons as well. Now, we all know they'd never make it there in any kind of time frame to compete. But their
Yes,
willingness to
but-
stay behind suggests that they either have intelligence that there's something else going on,
I
and
think
that the
whatever
Romulans
happens,
are going to be
we need to
attacking
be
the
very,
station.
very cautious about how we undertake this. I wouldn't mind a general sweep of the area as we leave as well.
That can be arranged, Captain.
Must admit, I did have to stifle a laugh every time that general used the word intelligence. They're not really known for that, are they, the Klingons?
I know. Remember, we have a Klingon officer on this ship as well.
I don't
He's
mean like
actually...
personal intelligence. I meant their undercover, they don't exactly have the Tau Shiar, do they?
No, not quite.
No, but if they get hold of the Tal Shiar, they probably...
That might be how Klingon intelligence works. They go out and they kidnap a Tal Shiar member and then beat them
Punch
until
it.
they talk.
Solid plan, really. It's quite well. It works well.
Fair enough.
Your Klingon counselor has actually not been on ship since the first mission. They've actually, I think, transferred over when we were going to try it to one of the Klingon vessels. You might have seen them with Captain Whitmore once or twice, and they gave you a bionic armed wave with a Raktajino, and you haven't seen them for a little while. So they're up to something.
Definitely shady.
Definitely shady.
I think, yeah. The Klingons are, however, our allies, so we need to give them the benefit of the doubt. But we can be a bit
Of course,
cautious
come on.
as we go
Captain,
back.
sorry, Captain.
After a little while, you get probably from somebody on the bridge, like the Thunderchild and the Venturer signaling they're ready to transport over, Captain. Shall I tell them you'll meet them in the transporter room?
Can we send anyone else to meet him?
Send Pendek.
I'll go meet the Vulcans if you want.
Yeah.
Just beam them directly
Also-
here. Let's not piss off the
Yeah.
remainder of the flotilla before we even start.
Uh,
True.
okay, I'll go meet them then.
So
Come on, Resh. Be nice.
So yeah, the other captains
And
beam
Tosh.
over. Resh and Tosh and everybody beams over. We walk through the vessel. Like the Vulcans are like looking. There is some serious like non-emotional envy from the Vulcans as they are now on Grelek's turf, and
I will point at all the
Well,
science.
Explain, also explain
This
how
is a
the
science
biogel,
station.
biogel packs work. And,
Yeah, try not to
how
punch
much more
one of the
efficient they are.
biogel
than-
packs because the smell that comes off of them is truly something to behold.
Especially late autumn, early winter, they get really infected.
terrible. Cheese. So yeah, we walk through we have a nice tour of the ship. This is like one of the very...
You know that at least one of the biogel packs is probably actually a still for Pendek.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
it's just a secret stash of alcohol. Why is this one
This conduit
completely
never works.
clear
What's going on?
rather than that bluish color?
Yeah. So rather than like reading out and repeating what we've already said, let's make some rolls to see how we deliver this briefing to the other captains. See whether we can generate some momentum or spend that on some things to help us later with whatever might happen once we get to the Candidate 3 system. So Grelek was going to do a science briefing.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so I would suggest this would be a presence and science to deliver the briefing to the rest of the crew, the other captains.
Reason and science.
Sure, I will accept reason.
Given mostly aiming.
Not a
at
good
Vulcans.
presentation, but it's factually accurate.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, reason and science. Difficulty 0.
Okay. I've got a lot of visualizations and the data pads and all kinds of groovy stuff. So
There's a lesser science officer with a stack of pads this big, hand out as they could take one each, like a church kind of thing. Take a pad.
just take over every screen in the ready
Yeah.
room.
The doctor is down to like the most minimal little picture in the corner.
Yeah, it's like a little window in window
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, just down in the corner,
Screaming
looking
face.
very annoyed.
So I'm going to say I get to use my computer expertise because I'm using the computers to back
Yes,
me up on this,
absolutely.
and possibly even my technical expertise. So I
Yes,
get to re-roll if one of my die is terrible.
sure.
And I'm going to use my focus of hazard analysis. So hopefully,
Oof,
I can re-roll one of those. Actually,
it's 3 successes. You can still
Yeah.
re-roll one. Yeah, you can re-roll the
I can
18.
re-roll one.
Yeah.
Let's do one. There we go. 4
Yeah,
successes.
4 successes. This is the most sciencey of science briefings ever. What was the focus of the briefing? More on the Tikali, the Pentagonians?
Yes, it was on the Remnant and the 2 different but similar types of buildings we've had, and as much of the recordings as we've got of both experiences.
Mhm.
I may have edited out me licking
Yeah.
the obelisk.
Licking the science.
But the bit where Tosh cries out in pain is like
Oh yeah, that's
in there
definitely there.
as a
You got a
as
picture
warning.
of that.
Yeah.
Bring it on, I'm proud.
Ah.
We've even got one of the holographic projectors to work again, and there's just a full 3D rendering of.
You notice he touched it
Tellarites.
like this. Look at the
Yep.
yeah, that
It's
kind
very
of stuff.
important. It's part of the detail.
I love it. Is there, aside from momentum, is there anything you want to create? Like, is there a trait or an asset or something you want to imbue the other crews with for the time being with these 4 successes?
I think certainly a level of, I don't quite know how to say this, but it's sort of being prepared and almost that
Awareness. Yeah.
it's more like the recognition, like you do enemy or friend or foe recognition.
Oh, yeah, okay. So,
so they know if they see something that even looks vaguely similar, that that's part of the Tilical, and therefore should be treated carefully, because
It's made of pentagons. Don't blow it up.
yeah,
Okay,
be
so
nice to it.
we enable like a lesser briefing for all of the crews, something to disseminate so that everybody has this awareness, and we put in some algorithms into the sensor arrays and that kind of stuff. A Tilical recognition protocol.
Yeah, so it can just sort of cut down the time or cut down any ambiguity about recognizing those.
Sure.
I think given the number of other Vulcans who may or may not be up on the ancient and now perfectly fine techniques of mind melding,
Sure.
I'd also like to share my or Grelik's take on the invasive mind meld that the Assessor Tredic did.
Oh yeah, okay.
To see if there is any way that potentially that could be countered, or just to have the other crews be ready for such a thing.
I guess. So we used 2 to create the sort of protocol. I guess for another 2, there might be on the Thunderchild, like somebody who's studied with the monks of Memina, where like to practice. Yeah, those kind of places. All those like different monasteries have different things, don't they?
No, that's a sort. I'm not sure we can work with anyone
Yeah,
who's been to the monastery in Pajem.
suddenly all of the Andorians are like
31 spies.
monasteries. Yeah, monasteries. No, but there might have been a legitimate monastery that some of the Thunderchild's crew, one of the Thunderchild's crew, has studied on and could attempt to teach everybody some simple, like he says, like for the ones we teach to the children at the monastery, mental fortitude practices.
Still, and encapsulate your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So for the other 2, bringing us back down to 3. Should we need it, we will have a boost to any resistance for Thredics, or whatever Thredic is. You just write that down. Vulcan training. I'll put in there. All right. So from that, there is a wonderful briefing. Things shared. One of the Thunderchild says, "Yes, I studied with the monks on Jem'Hadar." I can't think of a Vulcan name right now. I apologize.
It's going to get a lot of eyebrows up at that point.
Yeah, I studied with the Jem'Hadar monks.
I think the Jem'Hadar mind meld is they headbutt you hard enough that your brain is exposed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the right.
Brain is thou owls.
I studied with the monks on Kalor. Thank you, chat, and could pass on some of the practices we engaged the children at the monastery to practice in order to strengthen your crew's resolve.
That would be advantageous to the flotilla.
I will prepare a series of PowerPoints and informational videos.
Oh, the best way to strengthen your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent PowerPoint.
I feel my mind powers waning already.
I've got a few images you could hold in your mind that would put anyone off.
Bullet points in your mind, and no one can penetrate.
Yeah. So that's going to be mandatory watching on the trip out. Thenon, Resh, Tosh, is there anything else you folks do?
Oh yeah, tactical briefing.
Okay.
The Emperor has made a critical mistake, and the time for our attack is now.
Yes, sure. Cool.
No, I want to go through the tactical profile that we set up when we headed into system the first time, so that we were able to identify potentially cloaked vectors, map systems of movement for ships that are undetectable.
Sure.
And look at appropriate photon displacement and phaser array patterns that we can use to coordinate the ships.
And precisely use the free ships to triangulate it better so that we have.
So that's what I'm
pinpoint
going to try
accuracy.
and
All
do.
right. So is this presence and security briefing?
You better believe it.
Difficulty 0 again?
Excellent. So I'm using my tactical systems focus.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, 2 successes. You got anything that would re-roll?
I have not. I've only got a thing that lets other people reroll.
Okay.
Want me to advise you?
Thenon tells you to do the thing.
Yeah. Whenever you assist another character using command discipline, the character may be being assisted may re-roll 1d20. So
Oh yeah, so if you're assisting, Thenon can roll a d20 because Resh
and you can
succeeded,
re-roll one.
and you can re-roll one. There we go.
Right, there we go. So, oh, hang on. It's a reroll, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
you
I
what
just
am I
click
doing?
reroll.
and you're just rolling
Command.
1 dice, re-rolling 1 because we don't want to lose our other success.
Reroll 1 dice.
Form task, isn't it?
Mhm.
Keep forgetting.
There you go. Another success.
All right, so 1 to 3.
All
Right.
Successes.
So Resh and Thenon, you conduct Thenon perhaps being like, also tell them this, Resh. Remember? And you're like, oh yeah, kind of thing. Like you were too.
But more subtly.
I'm
less
like focused
you
in on
forgot
this
that.
small ship, one ship thing, and he's like, actually, there's 3 of them. So I'm like, yeah. So we
can build it out into a net with triangulation.
net
in between.
triangulating. That's what I'm trying to create.
Sure. Cool. All right. So we're going to spend 2 of those 4 on creating like a triangulation science detection net. Are we going to bank the other 2, or is there another like thing we want to do with those other momentum? What are we thinking?
I don't know. I kind of want to share our shield modulation with them as well.
Okay. So everybody, we want to get some shield modulations.
So the pen deck modulation. Remember the one that gives us ghost images of the ship? We can make it look like there's a flotilla of 9 instead of a flotilla of 3 for a few seconds.
Sure.
Oh, the scatter,
As we
yes.
jump into warp.
Yeah.
Like appear right in front of them.
Okay, cool. So we'll spend all that together. So is Tosh just happily watching the Vulcans?
No, I was going to share the warp field bubble harmonics that I created when we were dealing with those rupture things.
Okay, yeah, the blooms,
Yeah, the blooms, that's it. Because it's all linked. So if there's anything that may be able to help us from being remotely transported across the galaxy, it may be something to do with that.
Okay.
So I'm going to share that information with all the teams, providing all the specs and everything with a cool little graphic of like a little warp field going around a ship.
The reason I got a crit on that roll is because I put 1 foot up on the table.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
As I stand at the screen and face the other way, observant people might see a little blue glow down my spine through my uniform. Do I need to make a roll?
Yes, so this is going to be presence and engineering or insight and engineering.
Boom.
Difficulty 0.
Difficulty 0.
Oh, there was a complication.
I know my ship.
Okay. You got to re-roll that dice.
Oh no, that's technical expertise. Is that the one? You may re-roll one of the shit. Yeah, I may re-roll one of my dice.
Cool. Might want to re-roll the complication then, yeah.
Dice.
Could re-roll the 7 if you want. All right.
It could be 2 complications.
Yeah. Okay, so you get 2 successes from that.
Hang on. I forgot to say I've got a focus. I've got warp field dynamics. So that second one there, my engineering is 5, so that should actually be 2. So I got 3.
3 successes. Cool. So
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. So you want to share? We want to spend 2 of our momentum to make sure everybody understands the warp field bubble technology, and they can try and fit that or harmonize their engines and their warp core to operate at that level without like removing efficiency, so they can keep up with the Aston. And then we're gonna bank that one.
Can I use that to make them know that I'm better than them? Can I do that to show off?
Sure.
So they all know just how good an
How
engineer I
good
am.
an engineer you are. Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
the Vulcans.
Glad.
Especially the Vulcans. So they like
glad
I
I
like point
chose-
out, you know, oh, you're gonna have to realign 2 of your plasma conduits here and there, you know, on the Thunderchild, just to be able to do this, you know, kind of
Okay,
thing.
no,
So just pointless use of it, but
I
it's
like
just,
that. Yeah.
it's a very Tosh thing to do.
Tosh puts everybody in their place.
I'm glad I chose diffuse the tension as a talent when I made my character, 'cause I'm probably going to need it a lot.
Hey,
Sorry,
I'm
we're
probably the
only
only
winding
lieutenant
up
in
the
the room.
people.
I've got to make myself feel a bit better about it.
Yeah. So the briefing ends. You can see folks have got like data pads and stacks and stuff, and things are like the Vulcans are talking amongst themselves. The Ventures, like the crew are like, oh well, that's going to be a very different mission. They're all a bit like, oh my gosh, better run the source of separation drills and all that kind of stuff. Don't crash.
Can I get him to do one last thing
Sure.
before we leave the system? Like as part of the end of the operations briefing, like formation and everything, say we should probably test out the new sensor settings now before we leave the system with a
is
general
highly
sensor
logical.
sweep.
Okay, yeah, sure.
From
you want
all 3 ships?
all 3
Vessels.
ships are gonna
Yeah, just
absolutely
Will
sure.
take some practice to harmonize all 3 vessels' sensor suites so that we
Yeah.
can triangulate properly. You are right, Captain. We should attempt this before leaving Narendra Dock in case there is any other maintenance needed.
and obviously, as we'll be acting as command ship, I
Mhm.
think like, most of the data should come through us anyway.
Obviously.
Surely you'd want a more logic than that. And
You
you see
wouldn't want to be mishandled
see,
by
like,
inferior computer database.
Sitak just raises her hand to a science officer. Let's and they of course. Yeah. Well, let's stop bickering over the science. There's plenty to go around.
Hey, Thunderchild, you reap what you sow. They
There is
started
no
this.
bickering.
Of course they did. Of course they did. Only logical. Yeah, so agreed, Captain. Absolutely. We will return to our vessels, and under your mark, we will initiate the sensor sweeps on your updated systems. And Captain Holback nods to Grellick. Got a hell of a fine crew here, Captain. We'll by your leave. And then
Dismissed.
they all like leave. And as everybody's leaving, like Robert Picardo's still on the screen, just like that kind of thing, because nobody's spoken to him, nobody's switched him off.
I'll
you
go
know.
over and I'll press the button, press unmute, and I'll go, computer, turn off emergency medical hologram. And
Like a pad drops to the floor.
I'll be like, thank you, Doctor, just before he says.
Poor Robert Picardo. Poor Doctor. And so we move to the bridge. Is Grelek going to be the one to do the sensor test? Or are we going to let one
when
of
he comes back.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
comes back?
Probably when he comes back.
It's probably best
At
if
the
Grellick does it.
moment,
I'll assist.
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'll also ask Tosh to make sure that when we start heading out, that we just edge ahead of the Venture, which will be the second ship in the formation. Just
Okay.
make sure we're just ahead of them
Just
at
that
all
inch ahead.
times.
All right. So as we walk out onto the bridge, Grelek heads over to the science station. Resh makes a moment where she's perhaps going to go and take up tactical, and then goes down into the bridge. There is over the comms the doctor's voice that says, "Captain, please would you report to the bridge for your medical before leaving Narendra Station? Thank you."
Hey,
As it goes, I'll go, good luck.
But like, yeah. Is it from Narendra Station?
No, it's from the
No,
doctor.
just the doctor.
It's from the
Be like-
EMH.
Yeah, we're a little busy at the moment. I'll reschedule it for later. But just cut
him off, and he says, so he comes back on. He says, Captain, I regret to inform you, as my role as the Chief Medical Officer of the Aston, before this mission can leave, I will insist upon a medical.
Starfleet protocol does state that the chief medical officer can remove the captain.
And I think we're having some fluctuations in the power going to the
don't give
holographic
him
systems.
any ideas. It's all right, Tosh. I'll go down.
Oh, okay.
Resh,
Okay
can you
now.
handle everything here?
Got it, sir. We'll run the drill.
You have the seat.
Try not to
I'll
wipe
head
yourself.
down.
Sit in the big chair. We did it. Explode
Guys,
the
so sit
medbay
down
again.
in the big chair. Slowly.
Fire
comfortably.
phasers.
Yeah.
Just get the butt groove just right.
Fire all cannons.
Our new security chief's just got a phaser sat on the thingy. Make sure you give it up eventually.
Mr. Grelick, if you'd like to initiate the sensor sweep on your mark.
All right.
Aye, aye, Captain.
So yeah, this is going to be difficulty 2, standard kind of difficulty, and we are we're doing a sensor sweep to make sure there are no Romulans in the area. Yeah.
I believe we were looking for cloaked ships
Cloaked
rather
ships.
than
Okay.
specifically
Not defining
Romulans.
what affiliation they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
Yeah. All right.
I assist?
Yes, and the Ashton will be able to assist as well.
Excellent.
Let me pull up the Ashton's character sheet. Quickly. I believe we have some the advanced sensor suites.
Yes. we do.
Most sophisticated and advanced available in Starfleet. Unless the ship's sensors have suffered one or more breaches, whenever a character performs a task assisted by the ship's sensors, they may reduce the difficulty of the task by 1. So doing it on the Ashton is a difficulty 1 task, rather than difficulty 2. And if Grelek succeeds on his science, and I'm assuming you're going to pick reason.
I was going to go insight.
Oh,
actually.
okay, that's
That's
good,
been
yeah.
our standard sensor
Yeah, science and insight.
combo.
You can the Ashton can roll a dice, and Tosh can roll a dice. You can add all those successes together, see what we can get.
Do I just roll 1 then?
Yeah, so when you assist, you'll just roll 1, and I suspect yours will be something along the lines of insight engineering.
Oh, I control and science, but I can have insight and engineering. That's fine.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
yours because that's what you're
fine.
going to be at the engineering station. You're going to be going over,
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
shifting things around, boosting stuff, making sure the deflector array is
aligned correctly.
Yeah, whatever.
aligned. Yeah.
Okay, and will the survey focus count?
Your survey focus, yeah, will.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
essentially what we're doing, really, isn't it? So Tosh
Fun.
doesn't succeed. How about Grelix? Grelix gets 2.
I can re-roll
Can I use
That-
my
as well.
technical expertise as well?
Absolutely.
Let's re-roll that bad boy.
Different. Hey.
There you go.
So we're on 2,
3.
3, 4, and the Ashton's still to go.
Yep.
Oof, 5. Excellent.
We have achieved harmonious sensor sweep, Captain.
All right, so we succeed. We get 5 momentum out of this one, so we can ask some questions as there is and it takes a moment or two. Perhaps there is an element of like Resh asking the Venture to move, 3 degrees port, and the Akira to come down maybe a couple of degrees and that kind of stuff, or adjust their attitude.
But we're definitely asking the Thunderchild to adjust their attitude
Yep.
Yeah.
by at least 3% degrees.
Yeah.
That's why they're going to be at the back of the formation.
Yeah, they're at the butt. And yeah, there's a bit of maneuvering, but then there is almost like a sort of ping kind of situation going on. And there are some cloaked vessels around the Ranger station. Would you like to use some momentum? Because we've already got 5, so it puts us on technically on 8. Would you like to obtain information to ask me some questions about said cloaked vessels?
Yes, I think we would.
How many cloaked vessels?
How many
are there?
cloaked vessels is a good one to start off with, yes.
All right. There are 5 cloaked vessels.
Why?
Oh.
Do their cloak profiles match the cloaking profiles of the Romulan ships we've encountered?
No.
I did not think they did somehow. I think we're quite safe
Are they
leaving
all
Narendra
Klingon
Station.
vessels?
Are they all Klingon vessels? Yes, they're all Klingon vessels. They aren't like I'm not a Klingon vessel expert.
The little
They're not
birds of
for
prey.
char class.
Yeah,
yeah.
Varels.
Hopefully they're not all like for char.
No, they're not the massive. So they're the same as Akul, Captain Akul's and the Mupwil. That sort of class. That sort of,
Cavort.
Cavort class. That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
So there's 5 of them around
Nice.
Narendra.
We could take them.
Don't need to because they're on our side.
Is
This
not
reminds me, when my dad was in the Navy,
Uh.
he had one situation where a Russian submarine appeared next to their ship, completely out of nowhere, and they had no idea where it came from, other than underwater, obviously. And the captain of the Russian sub hailed them, greetings, ship name with your captain name, X, and your crew complement of Y. We hope everything's okay out here in these specific waters they were in. Just wanted to say hello. And the captain went on the blower and immediately responded by going, thank you, Russian sub. We don't know your designation or your captain number, but you might want to get the rear screw on the left-hand side looked at. It's making a knocking sound. And the Russian sub just disappeared again and went off.
Nice.
So I think we should try and do something a little bit like that to those cloaked Klingon ships.
Yeah. Is there something we could emit?
Just to one of the visible Klingon ships. How many visible Klingon ships are there?
There are 2. There's the Mupwil and an as yet unnamed.
Okay, well, we'll calm them up, Will, then.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so you,
Klingon cloaking devices have that flaw in them, though,
They
don't
do.
they? Because the
The
Romulans
venting.
sold them, well,
Mhm.
gave them NAF cloaking
kit.
Are they all on patrol? Are they moving around?
they
Or any of
do
them
look like they're
docked?
forming some sort of cap. Yeah.
Okay.
devices.
No problem. Just calm them up, Will.
Okay, so
Who's in charge over there at the minute? Because
it's cool.
is he actually there?
He's back
Oh,
on his
God.
ship. Yeah.
Okay, and he's the admiral. He's an admiral, isn't he?
No, he's Captain
No,
Akul.
he's
It's
just the captain.
It's Kargan who's the big
Oh,
one.
Kargan's the
Cool.
admiral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Captain Akul. Right. Okay.
All right, so yeah, we calm
Opening a
the
comms channel.
we open the calming storm has begun.
Told you.
and yeah, we get on this bridge, typical back dark lighting, a couple of grumpy looking Klingons at the front, and he looks at you, and
My shit-eating grin in the big chair with my new little pip.
and he goes, congratulations on your promotion, Resh.
Thank you, Captain. We'll be heading out now. I just wanted to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to take the fight to the Romulans. And I hope that the 7 of you will be able to keep the station nice and safe.
He pokers it out. His like ensign, his sensor guy at the front, immediately does that look over his shoulder at his boss kind of thing. And then you can see he's like, thank you for your concern, Commander Resh. We will be fine. Good hunting. And the comm ends as he's getting out of his chair kind of thing. Like he's obviously going to go and punch this guy for dropping the... So he styles it out, but his ensign doesn't.
We are really petty as a crew, aren't we? We are
Yeah.
like the pettiest Starfleet crew imaginable.
Yeah.
But you know,
Not
you two
when
have
it
had
counts.
Our captain never turned up, so there was no one to keep us in line.
Yeah.
in fairness, Tosh and Grelic have had plenty of times to pick on the Vulcans, so I think it's only fair that we're allowed to pick on the Klingons as well.
I do not understand what you mean. I have purely engaged in scientific discourse.
Absolutely.
As
It's
we are
how
a
we
science
keep
vessel, and
everyone
they are not.
working harmoniously together.
Absolutely. So the Thunderchild, there's probably like ship to ship IMs going on. Like, it's exceptionally effective. Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander Grelick, on your operation there. That sort of stuff. And we have Thenon. You walk into the medical bay. There is the doctor. He says, glad I didn't have to pull rank, what would it be? Pull position any further than that. I'm afraid I have been ordered to bring you here. There is an element of subterfuge. And he gestures to his office, where sat in his office is Captain Whitmore. There's
If that's even his real name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Doctor. End program. Walk in.
And just like you did want to do the medical. You should just poor Robert. So yeah, Captain Matthias
Captain Whitmore.
Thenon. Forgive the subterfuge of bringing you here under false pretenses. Although you may not put much stock in our EMH, I regret to say there are things afoot within the Federation that might mean he is one of your most trusted advisors, or at least the least security risk on ship. I cannot divulge much more than this, but
He is assisted by Pendek, but yeah, sure.
So Captain Whitmore raises an eyebrow. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about, Thenon. Pendek is a formidable medical staff member. I've seen him win over the Klingons. He's going far, that boy, kind of thing. He's totally misjudged Pendek and his shenanigans.
And it's like looking over the various disciplinary reports that never got sent to the captain.
Oh, I see. You've got that stack of pads, have you?
Just a bucket of pads back in your previous office. But if you're ever in doubt, you know you can trust your doctor.
I'll remember that. Is there something specific that required you to board our ship unannounced?
I'm engaged in a number of operations here in the Shakelton Expanse. I really don't want to announce where or what, but I wanted to take a moment or two just to give you a slight warning and just a moment of congratulations. And he reaches out his hand, shakes it heartily, in the most sort of genuine.
We'll do the whole.
Yeah, that sort of genuine kind of hug.
Our move.
Yeah. And
Hand hug.
To a degree, you're left wondering why this bit of a is he really Starfleet intelligence? Because he seems to have pulled a kind of weird fast one with how he's totally incapable captain, and now he's like, oh, I'm doing some secret missions.
Yeah.
And then, what is going on here? And he's like, word of advice: keep Resh away from the Klingons. I've found some interesting transmissions between them and their command. They have a file on the Resh symbiont, some sort of event. I think it's connected to what's going on, but and he picks up a pad and he slides it across to you. It wasn't a particularly difficult encryption, but it's 80-year-old, 90-year-old Klingon logs, not particularly detailed. But there is a Trill symbiont named Resh in there, and an event. Seems they've taken a dislike to your exo and are doing their own digging. Good luck.
I'll keep it in mind. Thank you. And good luck to you with your operations in the area.
Nods. Nega's like, want to beam out, and leaves you. Do you activate the EMH?
Yes.
All right. And he comes back. Please
Go on.
state the nature of the medical emergency. Ah, Captain! And he gestures to a biobed kind of thing. Like, get on there. Sort of stuff. Assuming that he does not find you are secretly a Tal Shiar agent, which would be a great point to
My
go.
entire backstory. Oh no. Cardassian.
Cardassian,
Secret
yeah.
Cardassian.
Cardassians, that would be great.
That's rule.
Yeah, they are cool. Assuming none of that is found, we head the flotilla out. You return to the bridge.
Yep.
Where is his name? Sekan does the captain on bridge.
Or security officers
ease.
peel me out of the chair.
Just see the phaser.
See the handprints and the size
Spatula
of the
from the kitchen wedged underneath. No, of course I'll get up as soon as he comes in.
Right.
I'll earn that chair legitimately.
Good plan. Yeah. But yeah, captain on bridge. Everybody looks around. Everybody does that like, hey, it's Thenon's the captain kind of thing that they all do in Star Trek when somebody's promoted.
Yeah.
Look, hey. Harry Kim steps up to different parts of the whatever.
Who let him on board?
Hologram. Yeah.
Please state the nature of the oboe emergency.
emergency oboe.
Deactivate that program and delete.
That'd be a really good program to have, because if there was ever some kind of alien pathogen or like some kind of honeypot
Absolutely.
alien species, you could just activate the emergency Kim hologram.
He's a space canary, basically.
And if you ever get into cross-dimensional problems, you can just keep one and the other one in space.
Get off the other
Go
one.
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let one die and have a completely different one for the rest of the season.
And
Yeah.
never
Mention
talk
it
about
again.
This
it
is
ever again.
fine. This is all fine.
Yeah. That's the subtitle of Voyager. And they never spoke
all
about it ever
fine.
again.
Mhm. All right, so with our 5 momentum, our 3 ships, Thenon, what is your warp suggestion? What do you say?
Okay, let's see what's waiting for us.
All with the Akira last, with the Thunder Child behind us, we jump and we're gone. Slightly slower than perhaps Tosh would like, because we've got to let the other ships keep up with us. Because
No.
Are
But
we going to get there first?
we've
Just
given them
ahead of them.
modifications, so
Yeah.
they're just fractionally behind us.
They still can't travel as fast as us.
Still can't keep up with top warp of the Ashton. That's why we went there in the first place.
We're pointy,
Mhm.
remember?
Be
Yeah,
pointy
we're
and-
pointy.
and
That
flippy.
pointy
and
front
fold
end
up.
the cells
makes a
flip
big
up.
difference.
Who'd have thought
Our warp
aerodynamics in
bubble
space?
is smaller and
It
more
creates a
compact.
stronger
More
warp
energy
field
effect.
resonance when they fold up like that, but
Yeah,
impulse is
yeah.
better when they're down.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looks cool.
It's like an X-wing. Yeah.
Just looks cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a question. Are we setting off so the Ashton arrives like much ahead of the other two, or are we gonna? Because I think the Venture, the Galaxy class, is gonna be the slower of the 3. Are we keeping pace with Captain Hallback? We're gonna
I
let.
think, we've probably set up like formation-wise. I'd have the Ashton just ahead of
Mhm.
everyone else. The Venture a bit off to the left behind us, and the Thunder Child last, because they might shoot at something otherwise.
Also at a slightly elevated position, I think, so that they've
Yeah.
kind of got overwatch.
So that they can
Don't shoot
on
us.
the top.
They can
all
take
the
out Khan.
torpedoes.
Sure. Sure. All right. So it is like a 6-hour journey. No, it'd be more than that. It was 6 hours when we were doing top warp, so I think it's about 8 or so.
All
I
right,
would
well,
recommend
activate the Harry Kim oboe.
Yes. All bridge officers, please report for your mind training.
Mm-hmm.
Really unnecessary.
Yeah, there is.
There's things I need to do with the warp field. Unfortunately, Grelic, I think I don't really need this training.
Well, it won't take very long for you, Tosh.
True. True. I'll stay for the first 10 minutes, and then I've got things to do.
That should be sufficient.
Because you're going to ace it, not be okay.
Good scan, by the way.
Yes, the sensor suite coped remarkably well.
The training is mandatory, so I expect everyone, especially the senior staff members, to participate.
Fair. The Akira, the Thunderchild, sends over a PowerPoint presentation on forging stronger mind protection against invasive.
Is it like really dull? There's no animation or anything. It's
No.
just 3 bullet points on each
God.
slide.
There's no GIFs, nothing.
No,
White background, 3 bullet points,
No cleaning.
Times
button.
New Roman.
yeah.
It's
Also-
Falcons. I imagine it's like a bunch of bullet points. They just assume that you'll be able to filter it.
Just take it all
out.
in.
Yeah,
just in
and
one
then
go.
like the
One slide.
the notes at the end are incredibly detailed scientific, like biochemical data on brains and things like that, and how, you know, it would be beneficial if humans could, you know, add an
Grow a
extra.
better brain.
Yeah, things
Another
like that.
lobe.
Mhm.
2 more lobes on the human brain, it'd be fine.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Like, because obviously he can't do the presentation without also citing all his sources,
Obviously.
kind of thing. So the presentation is probably about 10 slides long, and then the sources.
The
PowerPoint
appendix
is
the
about-
scientific
Mhm.
discussion, the
Mhm.
sign off by the Vulcan Science Academy.
Mm-hmm. His credentials.
There's a
for-
small trolley of pads brought in to represent the appendix.
Yes, yeah, and that's left in like the mess or the 10 forward or wherever that's there, and you're expected to read that before the end of the mission. There will be a test for those who wish to be tested, kind of thing.
The test is not mandatory. None of the senior staff are forced to go
Starfleet
to
development points will be available for those that do well in the test. It will come up in your annual review.
Alec, is there going to be any interaction between this Vulcan technique and existing Trill techniques? Am I going to end up messing up my own ability to meditate by trying to impose yours?
I think that's a fascinating question, and we should find out.
I'm going to do the training, don't worry.
Direct experimentation first, hey Grelic. I like it.
As long as we keep the subject under observation at all times, I think this will be a perfectly valid science
Mhm.
experiment.
Put one of them widdly weeps on the side of your neck.
Yeah, why not?
Cortical
Okay.
Box
monitor.
with a little light on it.
I would like to make sure that my exo doesn't end up in the medical bay just before we go into a dangerous mission.
Oh, speaking
I
of medical
can-
bays, how was your medical,
I
Captain?
can run this data through the
It
EMA
is ever.
to get their consent.
You're getting the EMH's consent on experimenting on Resh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ethics.
just sure.
The Emergency Holographic Ethic Board.
I mean, I'm sure he's got protocols for that.
Oh, God, please state the nature of the ethics emergency. Okay, there are 5 people tied to a trolley track, and 1 person.
Well, that is that episode of Voyager, isn't it? Where he has his ethical conundrum.
Yeah, his ethical conundrum. Indeed, he chose
Does not compute.
And
Harry
they
and
just wipe his memory.
just cut it out. That's how you deal with that sort of shit. But yeah, the presentation is delivered. We can, if you want, get the EMH to look it over. Add this to his. We assume next time he uploads, he'll resync with the database and he'll have this information at hand
probably-
anyway.
Probably should have had the EMH look at it before we let everyone partake in it.
Well, one
We're
would.
in a hurry. This is a war footing. We cannot always.
It's
But we've
tried and
only got
tested
6
Vulcan
hours.
techniques as well, isn't it? So, you know, we'll be
We don't have time
fine.
for 6 hours and training and a Vulcan ethics committee.
Oh no, that takes years.
Yeah, if we put this through the science, the science academy, we wouldn't be done. But it's okay because Vulcans live really long.
As soon as
Yeah.
there's any yoga elements, I'm going to bow out on medical reasons because of my new spinal cord.
And now
If it's like
Then
40
I'll-
degrees in there and there are
Like a
mats on the
pretzel.
floor, I'm out.
Fenton will have like a comm emergency setup for halfway through. Like,
Just tap 3 times.
Oh, they need
and he
me.
goes, I
Oh,
must
yeah.
go.
Second is
Bye."
supposed to call you after 15 minutes of being in there. Yeah.
yeah.
Captain
I'm
to the
doing
bridge.
the whole training and I'm going to win it.
Best.
I'm going to be the best at the Vulcan mind thing, unless
Excellent.
there are any other Vulcans on the crew who might do better because it's exercises for children.
Yeah, I assume there will be a number of Vulcans on the crew. Relic can't be the only one.
I'm putting 200% into this. Well, there's yoga elements. I am 200% into it. Like, yes, finally.
I imagine you're already in your fitness gear when you turn
Yeah.
up to the PowerPoint presentation.
I'm right.
One of those shiny gym gear that they wore in TNG.
Oh, yeah.
No, a T-shirt that says Felly.
Oh, Felly, is that what we're going with? Felly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
Was
what
that
was decided
Stun?
in the end.
Stun.
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 Or Fission. Felly. I like Felly. We might make that. Let's get that on. Get that on Redbubble.
Stern is the
ASAP.
Tellurite word for brave adventurer. So surely that's appropriate for our ship.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I wonder if they have. Anyway, diverging from the game. So yeah, there's this 8-hour journey in warp where we all do training and we go through Vulcan children mind exercises. And
Do it on the holodeck. Can we?
yeah,
Oh, God.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's going to
the
turn into an evil holodeck episode.
No,
There's
it's just a
Then-
beautiful,
yeah, then we run
serene
into one-
setting. There's a little stream, and you go across a little bridge. It's kind of reminiscent of kind of Japanese.
Well, I don't know if it was Vulcan, it'd be all sort of deserty, wouldn't it?
No, the meditation garden. Then you get to the central part, which is all sand and it's all raked, and there's a beautiful pyramid, and there's many suns in the sky. And then you all sit down, and then all of these whiteboards appear with the PowerPoint presentation.
Then the
Just,
Ashton runs into one of those blooms.
Into a star.
and, yeah, you get stuck in this endless whiteboard presentation.
Hi, I'm Clippy. So yeah, we do the presentation. Thenon is only slightly off put by the Vulcan monastery layout in a.
Mm.
I'm sure I've seen this on a security briefing back home. One of those expose films, you know, kind of thing.
Period drama
Randomly
set during
looking
the
around
conflict.
for spy equipment.
Yeah, period drama. The Battle of Pajam.
Yeah, Downton Pajem.
Yeah, that'd be
Do
brilliant.
not ring the bell, whatever you do.
Anyway, so yeah, we do that. When it gets to maybe 30 minutes beforehand, are we all at our stations on the bridge? Thenon's in his ready room, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
Tell me. You folks
sure.
tell me.
On the
Tosh,
bridge,
Tosh,
checking power levels.
okay, you're going to be on
I'll
the bridge
be-
as well?
hmm
Yeah. I'll be in
Translation.
communications with the other two captains.
Does
in the
anyone
ready
mind if
room.
I take the
Or
not the
offline.
operations one, because that's Grelik's one, isn't it? But just around, there's like a seated area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be over there. Then I can sit down.
Like, just sort of parallel with Adun's headphone over that way.
Yeah. It's
just
kind of
over there.
off main camera angle.
Hmm.
You know, they occasionally switch to it, don't they?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where Balana used to sit.
Yeah.
I know where you mean. Everybody else.
Sit in the corner.
Yeah.
Watch.
Basically, God.
All right.
Yep.
So do a little bit of Vulcan hot yoga. Go for a run, sonic
Hot
shower,
Vulcan yoga.
spicy soup, and then off to work
Yeah. Okay.
with a red uniform.
In your red uniform, yeah, new red uniform. It's like
Welcome to the red uniform.
I hope you have your spicy soup first, because you don't want to get that on your red uniform.
No, I won't get that on my red uniform. That'd be silly. No. If you spicy soup in your undies.
Did not need that image.
sports
Spots go all the way down.
sports bra and jogging bottoms.
I just
Spicy
like the idea that there's a cut through of all these scenes and
just
Just to sit
retching spice. Oh, that's spicy. and
Good s-
it
Relic.
cuts briefly to Tosh rolling around in mud.
Grelik's just
Also in his
meditating in
underwear.
midair. Just,
No underwear. Just a well-positioned pot plant. You can't.
Is there a
you
little
can't see
curly
anything.
tail? I've always wondered.
and
It's not on the
Fennon
back.
assuring the other captains, yeah, no, they're a very professional crew. That's
And then there's just like from the outside of the ship, like the panning shot of the ship as it flies back, like you can just see like the silhouette of Pendek doing. You can't make out what he's doing, but he's
Something.
something
Doing
through
something
the
dodgy.
porthole, like just a pen deck, like
Screwing a window from the inside.
steam on the window, like, adjusting environmentals outside a door, that kind of thing. Pen deck up to no good. Oh, bless you, Simon. So as Ensign Torin says, all right, we'll be out of warp in a moment, Captain. We see the ships. Do we do that like nice rainbow sort of effect where they jump and stretch into the into real space, and then they're immediately inundated with red alert klaxons as the computer puts shields up to protect the ship as you are immediately like kind of buffered and battered around. The other ships, the Thunderchild and the Venture, report the same. You get status updates as the flotilla is linked, and I need to roll 6 challenge dice.
Ooh.
6 challenge dice.
Seriously, our first encounter is with me as XO, and I don't even get to say raid shields, red alert.
No, ship doesn't.
Red
follow.
alert.
Ship that it for us.
Oof.
You can still say it.
All right.
You can just play the trombone and sit awkwardly in a chair.
For that, it is piercing 2 and devastating. Let me just get my core book,
Well, shit.
because I think we've got a breach, folks.
Index.
Pendex
Well, that solves the problem.
Index
Delete,
hydroponics
delete.
flies out the window.
He's freezing all his vodka in one of the airlocks.
Might seal the breach there. So
You
then we'll have to
turn
promote
sideways
him
out,
again.
and your eyebrows try and track your head,
I
and,
know.
and they turn into like a little bird on the side of your head that flaps merrily.
This is going to make combat really fun. They try and keep up.
God, you go through so many emotions when you just move your head side to side. It's crazy.
Very un-Vulcan.
I lose.
Sorry, many states of
Equilibrium
inquiry.
in It's an inner ear condition.
What is the resistance on the Ashton? It's 4.
Really
42.
high. Yeah,
That is always the answer.
Yep.
Whatever the question. We're rugged, apparently. Does that help?
That
That's
gives
Oh,
you,
yeah.
that gives you like, oh no, that's the wrong one.
Oh, no, we're
Rugged.
easy to fix. Oh, we're
Yeah.
a Meccano ship. Okay.
Yes, yeah, you are. Yeah, essentially.
Got the best bloody engineer in the fleet.
Because when something breaks, you just pull out the biogel and slap in another one.
Yeah.
Put
But
it in
make
the
sure
microwave
it's
to
not
warm it up,
Pendex
and then-
biogel.
And the
yeah.
biogel is fully flushable.
Unlike other bits of engineering, which aren't.
The biogel gets loaded into, like, used biogel just goes into the photon torpedoes, and we just fire it off at other people.
Oh, can we have some paintball torpedoes?
The cloaked ships, that'd be really handy.
Ah, why not? Big bag of flour. Just fire that out the front.
Oh, breach rock. Why I can't find it in my PDF. Doing really well with spelling things today, folks.
It's
Really-
not an uncommon
Wait.
misspelling.
Yeah.
Breach. A lot of people get it wrong.
We're also not eager for you to find it. So
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. There's no breach. We're fine.
There's
We're
no
fine. We'll
breach.
carry on.
Based on 2 factors. Which system was hit and
Better not hit my warp core.
Then I hit my tactical array. Oh, it's not my tactical array anymore.
Well, we'll still need it. So
Yeah.
Hey, we've got old Thunderchild. We don't need a tactical array
Yeah.
right now.
Of course we do.
Yeah, but
We
we're
have
not going to pop her
form
out
them in
from behind them
everything.
and go, yeah. Like that one weedy kid who follows the bully around.
I looked at your station last week. Everything was set to 25% strength anyway.
Give them a fighting chance and look cool while you're doing it.
I think there is a chart we could roll on. All right.
Ooh.
Somebody roll 1d20 for me. Let's find out which system suffers the breach. Who wants to be in charge?
Go
You
on.
know who's in charge.
6.
There you go.
Oh dear.
I hope low is
6.
Bridge.
Gosh,
I immediately get pulled.
Not the warp core, is it?
it's the engines.
Oh,
no.
damn
All right.
you. I'm really annoyed now. Full energy to weapon systems.
Engines
Don't know what's hit
damage.
us yet.
So the ship loses 2 power. Internal systems. Internal system impacts both propulsion and power generation aboard the ship. Further damage could become catastrophic.
What power should we be on?
Normally we are on. Well, it will
12.
refresh. You will be on 12, so you'd go down to 10
Okay.
at the start of combat. But as the sensors kind of, there are no sort of like Romulans attack. You can feel the ship as it's being like buffeted, and the shields come up, deflector arrays kind of dial up to 11. Yeah, we all do that thing where somebody shouts left, and we go that kind of stuff. Except for Grelak, who's got his
We did it for
Seatbelt
about
on.
2 minutes earlier on while you were looking at the rules. We were all doing this.
good effort, chaps. Good effort.
A hot
That's
Vulcan
half the
yoga has
reason
warmed
I
up
signed
my
up
core.
for this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
That's about a 6, guys. Let's do a 6.
but while there is this damage to the engines, you'll not recover those 2 points. So you're permanently like reduced power. If we get into combat, like ship to ship combat, or if we want to do a lot of sort of things like that, then it'd become a big issue. As we are, it's not too like Tosh is like
It needs to be fixed.
yeah, it does need
Yeah.
to be fixed, but Tosh can handle like the power distribution.
Sure.
Because he's good. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I'm gonna like get some engineers to go and fix it. I don't have to fix everything myself, but
Mhm.
give them a tight time frame and text an order off.
But at this point, yeah, they're not. They're
Yeah,
not.
none of that padded time nonsense.
Mhm.
It
Buffer-
cannot be
buffer
done,
time.
sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's this buffeting around. Damage reports come in from the Venture, less from the Thunderchild because she's a little bit more rugged than yourselves.
She chonk.
But yeah, the Venture come back with a number of bumped heads, and they too have suffered a breach. And let's roll a d20. Let's find out where they suffered a breach. Failing to roll a d20
The patchouli room.
in the patchouli room.
Why
They've
is
got
there so
a-
much hate for
an
patchouli?
imminent
It's the
warp
best
core
smell.
breach.
20. Ooh, shit.
There
Oh,
was no hate there.
that's the bridge, isn't it?
I think it might be.
Oh no, it's
Bridge.
weapons. It's
Oh.
weapons.
Oh,
Oh.
fine.
So
The
the
fine.
Venture's
Ventures-
weapons.
The
The
Ventures.
Venture.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant the Thunderchild.
No,
No, it's the
no.
Venture's
was just-
weapons. They're tickle blasters and
That's a galaxy
they were just
class.
gonna.
It's
like-
yeah, I
They
know.
cut
They're like as powerful, probably.
They're as good as the Akira.
Thunderchild.
Oh,
It's just
the-
they put all of the guns of a galaxy on a little Akira.
So the Thunderchild. Everybody suffers a breach for free. I'll just do that. I'll spend some threat because I've got a bunch of it.
Woo.
Like 12 threat.
12 down to 8.
That clearly
Hey,
cost 12.
Blimey.
So we'll spend 2 for each ship. So the Venture is out, its weapons are down, and the Thunderchild's engines are suffering like the Ashtons.
Is the Venture out, or is it just...
No,
It's
it's just
weapons
weapons
down.
have suffered.
Okay.
When it says breach, it means like a system breach, not a
No, just what you said made
as
it.
long as the system isn't
Out.
hull.
yes.
Yeah.
There is structure. You could have a
Like
structure
support.
breach, yeah. But their reports are coming back similar to the Ashtons.
Tactical, where's it coming from?
Sensors.
Sensors, yeah. Let's make a sensor roll.
That's why I wanted All ships to be available.
Hmm.
Are we coordinated enough to do
So yeah,
the
we should be getting all the data in from
triple.
all the ships.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. We can have some assists from the other ships.
sensor thruple?
Hmm. So what would this be?
Made me
Uh,
giggle.
I think it would be a difficulty 2, but with the assistance from the other, we'll drop it down to difficulty 1.
I'm going to use a value.
Yeah.
I'm going to use remain cool and calm at all times.
Hmm.
Mm.
And then insight and science. With my technical expertise in the bag, just in case it goes horribly wrong.
Oh, and you'll be using the Aston sensor suite, so it's actually difficulty 0.
Even better.
Even better.
And an
Nice.
automatic success for the cool and calm? Is that how that works? Never sure.
Yes, so yeah, you're using a value, so you will get an automatic success. There it is.
Whoa.
You got 4
I've
successes.
got 4 and I can
Nice.
re-roll one of those.
Reroll one of them, and the Ashton will help you.
Does that include your automatic one? It doesn't, does it?
It does, yeah, that's what the 1 is.
Oh,
So
sorry.
the value will set it to
Yep,
a
gotcha.
1, which will give you 2
I
of
thought
those
it was
successes.
a 3. It's a little bit blurry on my screen.
Ashton didn't
only
help.
4.
Oh, Ashton's. Yeah, Ashton didn't help. Never
I'll
mind.
take the 4, I guess.
4
It just
successes.
gets shot.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take the 4.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
enough. All right. So that would put you on momentum 9, which is more than you're allowed to hold
That
on
seems
to.
like too much.
Yeah, it's more than you're allowed to hold on to. But first up, so the first thing you kind of gather from when you buff it, ship takes a moment, rolls, we do a bit of juddering, we get back onto our ship, onto our seats, we sort out our jumpsuits, and help staff get up off the floor who have not been sat on, because I don't
You
know
get
what
up.
Back.
I don't know what Tom Paris sits on. He sits on like a little stool or something. It looks odd.
Piano stool.
Yeah, he sits on a piano stool. So
I thought they had proper seats.
They got chairs.
Sort of
have they got
one,
chairs? Okay.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
helped.
there's half chair thing.
We helped
Certainly
Torin
good
back
fucking
up onto
chair.
his chair, and we get the sensor data in from the ships. It looks like. So the view screen is filled with a prismatic splay of light, halos, electric blue energy, and a massive planet that wasn't there before. Last time you were here, this planet was not. The Venture say that this is like some of the data they have and the things they can see from it. It's a planet they visited some months ago called Oregon 3. You want to ask me any more questions?
Let's move.
Goes well on pizza and bolognese.
How
Did they all
far-
get dysentery when they went there?
Yeah, the Oregon Trail, yeah.
How far away was Oregon
Was-
3
yeah.
from where we are now?
Some
And could someone wake up astrogation because they need to change the charts again?
change the charts again. So
Don't
Oregon's
need to build that room.
the room.
Sorry, anyway.
Oh, the room. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Scoot. Let me just find the mission they did. Because I think it's a considerable distance, like light years, more than
Yeah, like sectors across. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, the distance between star systems is going to be massive anyway.
so
Yeah,
they-
anybody who
planets
can move a
moving.
planet.
they moved the
like-
planet
yeah.
between star systems.
Mhm.
Did they
Like,
literally
okay.
just do it, and that's why we got
Is that-
buffeted, or did we come out too close to the planet, and therefore we were like,
Oh, we've come out close to a planet that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
we
weren't
just-
because we weren't planning for these gravitational wobbles. That
It's not
Sure.
on the charts.
wasn't on the charts. Wasn't something that Torin could plan for or anybody else could. And so we've been like bashed about a bit. There does seem to be a little bit more like asteroidish debris in the area as well, which is probably what's bashed into the Aston before our shields were raised.
They've pulled a planet and it had an associated moon. Chances are
That's
that's going to
no
have been
moon.
pulled apart.
Yeah.
the energy required to transport
Is
a
that-
planet from
It's
across that
astronomical.
distance is inconceivable. I mean, you'd have to master the power from singularities and black holes.
which we
what
know
energy
that
readings are we getting from the
we know that
system?
Tilicar were working
Like,
on that
It's
kind of
just coming
technology.
in, Captain.
Yeah,
Um,
well, that's a question.
that's a question.
My next question.
So the energy readings. Let's see if we've got any details on the energy readings.
Tactical officer.
I'm less worried about the Romulans.
Scan the ships, because otherwise Grelik's just going to go mad for science.
We'll all leave the room.
Mr. Grelik, why don't you launch some sensor buoys and see if there's anything else in the vicinity that we can pick up?
Well, you don't need because you've just done a fantastic sensor buoy, so we could.
Triangulation between the three
Could be
ships.
part of it, couldn't it? We could have
Yes.
launched a Class 5 probe or something
Yeah,
out,
so-
and that's helped the sensors.
All right, so there's no there's a lot of gravimetric forces in play. There's no unexpected energy readings versus the last time you were here, and also given that there is another planet in the system that's probably got its own shit going on, kind of thing. What you do find is that the triangulation and the strange gravimetric sort of forces at play have highlighted that there are a bunch of Romulans approaching on the other side of the system. They too have fallen into some sort of problems, but as soon as they're up and running, they will be approaching you. Captain Satak has messages like, "Shall we engage the Romulans? I am certain our what did we call Fanar, Engineer Fanar will have our power operating. Fanar, within moments. Would you like us to engage?"
It's our job to make sure the Romulans return to the neutral zone, not start a war. And
We take up position above the.
we
planet
shall,
in question.
however, move us into a defensive position that covers the Romulans. Also, what other readings are we getting from the planet itself?
What did the Venture discover on this planet when they went here a month ago?
So, Oregon 3, Captain Holback quickly kind of, I remember this, it was stuck in a strange tractor beam pull with another planet in its system, sort of creating a rolling effect. Gravitational forces on the system on the two planets seem to have caused strange earthquakes, tidal locks, magnificent levels of destruction. There were nobody left alive. We explored some of the ruins, found that it seems there was chaos, and some of the logs from the indigenous population were not happy reading. But there was no survivors. We found that there was some, what did you call it? Tilical technology? Pentagonian technology that had been activated. These settlers, these people who had been on Oregon 3, had come after the Pentagonians had died, left. Exploration had inadvertently activated this tractor system between the two planets. Perhaps this activation is what then linked with an activation here and pulled the planet across the Shakelton Expanse.
Tilical do appear to have highly advanced gravimetric and gravitonic technologies and appear to be behind those blooms in the expanse as well. So the likelihood is that they're definitely connected.
Didn't they mention several worlds? Perhaps this is the first of many. They have the ability to do this, and
if they're collecting all of the worlds that they've seeded into this location,
we may be about to experience a lot more gravimetric disturbances. Perhaps keeping our distance and seeing what happens might be the best. Might damage
our
my ship
objective
further.
is still to persuade the Romulans to go away.
Can we also like reverse the sensors and see if there's a giant planet on its way? Because I imagine we'd probably the sensors would notice that.
It depends how it is being.
Yeah, not if it's going
moved.
superluminal.
Yeah,
Could be some strange.
because like what's our working theory, Relic? Do the blooms are the blooms like some kind of relay station or gravimetric pulling device?
What we have encountered so far has been a relay station, which we fully explored. What we found on the planet of Candidate 3 was a much more active Tilical AI, and we never fully explored the potential capabilities of that installation. It may be that it is a gravimetric transportation system rather than a more prosaic and basic relay system.
Yeah.
As you're postulating, and Captain Sitak is like, "Oh, well, she's advising that it would be best to send the Akira class vessel to go and greet the Romulans."
Let's get everyone up and running, and we'll go say hello to the
Where
Romulans.
is the original Romulan vessel?
We haven't spotted it in amongst all the others, but as we're like,
It came with us.
Planet is in the way now.
And how many
The original
Romulan ships
Romulan
were
vessel
there?
came
Sorry?
back with us and got squished.
got squished.
Oh, we did, didn't it? Yes,
got
yes,
squished.
you're right. I forgot.
So as we're trying to work this out and we're trying to recover from the damage, everybody begins to sense something otherworldly in their mind. And in a moment of pure silence, some quieter than others as you practice the children's focus.
Symbols.
Yeah.
Ding.
You hear a voice. And it's the alien from the Tilical ruins, Assessor Tredic. It sounds hopeful and panicked. You've come back. Please, I need help to protect them all. I cannot transport you down like before and save them at the same time. I must manage all the power here. It's delicate. Please, come down and help me. And the voice disappears.
Well, that looks like we definitely might be getting some answers.
That's an invitation.
Getting a away team together.
I'll stand up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just elongate your spine. You're still sat. Yeah. So yes, Tredic.
Maybe the Thunderchild should watch in orbit, protect us from orbit while we go down to the planet.
Yeah, give us cap.
Sure. So is that the orders? We want the Thunderchild to protect us in space. What is the Venture going to do? The weaponless Venture.
Yeah, the Venture needs to work on getting their weapons online. But while they're at it, they might as well do as many sensor sweeps as possible.
If they could focus sensors on the planet, potentially keep a lock on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would recommend that we take pattern enhancers down with us in case we need to transport off the planet through gravimetric storms.
Okay.
How stable does the ground seem?
Oh, on Candidate 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a focus in exotectonics.
All right, let's make a
Why not?
I think this would be more like an engineering style role than just science. This is more
Hello.
So this would be insight engineering with assisted by the ship sensors. Difficulty 2, which is obviously reduced to 1 because the Aston is that darn good.
Insight engineering. Am I rolling that? Shall I roll that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I've got survey.
Yes, survey will definitely come into Nick here.
Okay. Shall I use a point of momentum to get 3 dice, or should I just roll 2? It's difficulty 1, did you say?
Yeah, it's reduced to 1 because of the Aston's advanced sensor suites.
Okay.
You
I'll
want to
just
use?
roll.
Just
I'll just roll. How many have we got? We've got 6, haven't we?
You got full momentum.
4 momentum.
You can use some.
If we're about to get into a bust up with the Romulans, though.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, I'll save it.
Yeah,
I'll save it. Here we go.
Ooh, great. 1 success.
All
right.
I can re-roll.
And you can re-roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
Technical expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Is the computer helping me?
Yeah, absolutely.
With sensors. So
I will roll 1 dice with my focus.
Ooh,
3
that's 3.
successes.
boom.
4 successes. Excellent. All right, so
This reminds me of scavenging parts back on Delvos 4.
Okay. And the thing about Delvos 4 is because of the gravimetric shifts and the massive debris field, it was near impossible to safely transport down.
Captain, I
have
think
to
we're going to
take
have to
the-
take a shuttle down.
Yeah. Shuttle or the ship.
Or the
Alpha
whole
Flyer.
ship. The whole ship.
I just really want to land the
whole
ship.
ship
but
down.
let's
Why not? Why not?
because it's unnecessary and we need to shoot rumblings as well.
You've got the Kira, you've got the Thunderchild up here.
Shuttle.
Starfleet protocol
There's
would
5
recommend
rumblings.
Runabout. We got the runabout, haven't we?
You gonna take a
landing.
Yeah.
Neither of the other
The
ships can
USS
land on the planet, so it would be a
yeah.
flex.
True.
also that.
Yeah, but
You
when a
know
big
how a
chasm
galaxy
opens,
ship lands on a planet?
8 threat points.
Yeah.
A big chasm will open
Yeah.
up and we'll ditch into it or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Or we'll end up with an entire crew of liquid versions of ourselves that suddenly
Or we'll
dissipate
discover
into
people
space.
from 400 years ago in the past that we'll have to take on board the ship.
Goo
Yeah, true.
people. Oh, we want to be goo
Oh.
people.
Yeah.
I think you should land
I
the
think
Ashton. I think
Your
that'd be
call,
cool.
Captain.
Take us in.
go on. It'll be fun. Then I get to do something as well.
Yeah.
How many Romulan ships are in orbit?
I think there are 5 on the way.
Yeah,
Not in
no,
orbit. They're not in orbit. It's
They're not
fine.
in orbit yet. They're on the way.
Fine.
Like, in the system.
We'll send the
Okay.
shuttle.
No, let's put ourselves down a gravity well in a hostile combat situation. What could go
The
wrong?
ship is going to stand a better chance of getting back than the shuttle. But
There is that.
Also, if we take the whole ship down, me and Thenon can both go on the away mission. If we don't take the whole ship down, one of us has to stay behind.
Let's take the ship. We've got more stuff.
Let's take a shuttle and Resh can stay back.
Sure, you want to leave me behind to
Let's
duke
take
it
the
out with
ship.
the
Yeah,
Romulans?
No.
and
Come
that's
back to
how
no
the
ship.
Federation Romulan War started.
My back hurts.
Yeah.
Let's land the damn ship.
All right.
Go on. What is that?
How-
Condition blue?
Yes.
I'm going to look at the sensors and look at how far apart the 2 planets are
Mm-hmm.
in the system now,
Yep.
and suggest to the other ships, send a little message to them and say, you might want to stay like half that distance away from either of those original planets. That might be a minimum safe distance for transporting in another planet. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you advise them to maintain a certain safe distance. I like it. Where are the rules for landing an Intrepid? I know there are some.
There are no
it
rules
works
when you land.
fine. That's the rule.
No.
It just works.
Nose at ground.
No.
Everyone clenches their armrests as the ship descends into the
Have a
planet.
chair.
Tactical officer has to play drums.
300 meters handbrake.
All right. So, it is condition blue. We are right. Everybody is like, oh, we're landing the ship. Everybody moves to their stay stations. Pendek puts a seatbelt on some plant pots, and that kind of
This is
stuff.
probably the first time we've done this with this ship, isn't it?
I mean, I imagine you've done it like in drills and that kind of stuff, and you've gone through the simulations. But this is the first time you've done it.
Hey,
Crumbling
Gorman, how
planet.
many combat drops is that for you?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. This is a daring and con task, difficulty 4, assisted by the ship's engines and con. If you
And
fail,
me.
and Thenon, if you fail, more stress will be applied to poor Felicity Aston.
Yay.
Who is gonna do this? Let's have a look at.
I'm not rolling daring and con.
Hell no.
The con, clearly the con is going to
Oh,
roll
nice.
daring and con.
Torrin, Ensign Torrin.
I
has-
know. Doesn't Thenon have to get the little joystick out?
Oh God, no.
No, God, no.
Actually,
Manual control.
Ensign Curran should be
that's-
good at this
uh,
because he flew dodgy cargo missions that totally
Precisely.
weren't for terrorists.
Exactly. Totally not. That.
This is
Yep.
absolutely his bag. This is his chance to shine.
Well,
Landing on
Thread the
planets.
needle.
well, good old Corbin. He
Leaf
has
in the wind.
control 11. What is it? What did I say? Daring and con or control and con?
Daring and con.
Daring and con. Daring is 8, and con is 4 for him.
Blimey, I'm nearly as good as him.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
You
Oh, well.
folks can do it if you want. Or,
Oh, let the boy land the ship.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll be advising once again. Can you use your value when you're advising?
I think you can. Yeah. Why not? He does
'Cause
have.
success is a team effort.
Success is a team effort. Excellent.
The work makes the dream work.
He has. Do we want him to buy an extra dice?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
under the circumstances, it might be a plan.
So we go down to 5
Gotta
threat.
give them all of them. 3 extra dice. Go for
Just-
it.
God,
He does have
Land
a
well, land
focus.
the ship.
He does have a focus in Intrepid class ships. That's good.
Handy.
That's good. But as he is a side character, a crew member, he doesn't have any values.
He has no values. What's he doing on our crew then if he's got no values?
Oh,
Alright, difficulty 4. Boom!
Oh, look at
Do I add mine to that as well?
wow.
Just like when we were landing those big crafts under the noses of the, and then he stops because he realizes what he's about to say. And he stops. He looks over to Thenon in like a, did I give myself away? But yeah, you can assist, and then the Ashton can assist.
What am I rolling?
So you're pep talking really, aren't you?
Yeah.
So presence and command perhaps, or insight and command.
That's good. That's 17.
I mean, presence and command is fine. 16, but it's close
16.
enough.
Nice.
Yeah. And I am using the value. There was my focus count as well. Inspiration.
Yes.
I'm really good at talking.
You're
people
really good at
into doing
talking.
things.
Yeah. I love to imagine it's Andorian though, so it's all like, don't be a wuss and do it properly kind of inspiration rather than anything else. Oof. Excellent.
Not like a behind the chair shoulder rub, like, come on, you can do
Come on,
this.
you can do this.
Or just standing silently right behind.
Antenna just down on him.
You will not fail.
You go round the other side of the con
Stand in
station and you're
front.
like, come on.
Got it done, Torin. No, wow. Okay, we boss it. We land it just
Don't
like.
look at the screen. Look at me.
Look at this. Yeah. We boss it. We land the Ashton on Candidate 3 and buffeted, bashing around. There's a moment, some hairy moments, but we find a location and we land perfectly on the unstable land of the planet. Are we gonna rally some science teams? Are we gonna Tosh gonna get some
Science and
engineer
security.
Oh, yeah.
engineering
Gonna get some
teams
engineers.
now
Yeah.
because you can get to the outside much easier and run around and do all the
Yep.
repairs
Get them
and that
all-
kind of
Get
stuff.
them all out on the hull, fixing stuff.
And-
I'm also going to rub like the wall and go, well done, girl.
Good lass, like that. Patter. Yeah,
Yep.
excellent. So cute.
Ensign Curran, I'm going through the files and I'm adding Tuali pie to the replicator rations.
So the main place where we saw Assessor Tredic last time, we can see that we've landed not so far from that, and as we sort of land, we hear in our minds again Tredic say, "I'm running out of time. You need to hurry," kind of things. Get here fast.
Can we beam? No, we can't beam, can we?
It's advised
Is
against it.
Yeah, I'm advised
But we
against
can
it.
take a shuttle now.
Can we
Fine.
locate where that message
Well,
is coming
aren't we
Um,
quite near it?
Yeah, you're not far.
I suppose we landed close, didn't we? Yeah.
At most,
Yeah.
like a
Well, you
couple of
hope.
kilometers. For Resh, this is just like an afternoon jog.
Oh,
And
got
for
to go
a
a couple of
hike.
kilometers over to. Can I take a shuttle?
No,
Resh,
but you could bring
lead
one
the
of
way.
the. Oh, we don't have ground vehicles.
No.
We don't
What
We
about the
should.
Argo?
have no.
Can we spend some to make an asset just so we can
We spend
drive?
some momentum.
Do you want
have
to
a car.
spend 2 momentum to have a little go kart? Is that
Have a
what we're going to
rover.
do?
Yeah.
A little rover. Okay.
I think we should have
Four-person.
a rover.
But like
I mean, they
Four-person
are
rover.
cool.
that thingy
I
one
can't believe we
from,
just spent momentum just so Tosh doesn't have to walk.
We can carry more science equipment.
Yeah, we've got
It's
all the
very
repair
valid.
stuff as
We can
well. You know, a bit of
get
tools.
a team on there, and
You
I'm
can
gonna
put
take.
a
I'm gonna
gun on
find my
it,
my
you know.
best kind of energy management based tools, because they said it was to do with the energy. You know, so I'm gonna get some gear together, or send a list to one of my people.
No, it's good. It's brilliant. I'm glad that we've done that.
because we can
Goes
provide
into the
the
back room and
energy.
comes out with a phaser type 4. That's the one that clips onto a vehicle.
See, told you. You can stick a
God.
gun on it.
There
Okay.
you go.
So we drive.
Now I'm
this-
stuck in the back like this. Well,
You're also-
Resh
you're
is
also
like
squished
standing
between-
in the back with the big gun. I have to
There's
like
the big
squeeze in the
gun,
back,
the
and I'm like,
massive
my back is
comms
hurting
array,
again.
sensor suite.
Yeah.
Amazing this thing can move.
Yeah.
So we drive a little bit slower than it should because it's overladen with science and guns. We drive to the pentagonal location that we last met Tredick in. The vehicle, the go-kart we created does fit, because remember it's quite a big sort of tunnel, so it does fit down a way. We can turn around and reverse down it if you want, if we need to make a quick getaway later, if that's the plan there. And we're met like halfway along the corridor by the 3-meter tall Assessor Tredick. And he gestures towards you to quick, come. And he leads you along the hallway to the big room we saw last time. We briefly saw last time, with all this blue energy coursing through the walls. He performs this strange kind of gesture, and while he's doing it, he's sort of walking towards a wall, and he gestures to you. Performs these odd sort of movements with his double jointed fingers, and parts of the wall just disappears. You can see there's a further tunnel into the system. And he stops and he beckons you on more. Quick, we have little time. And he heads off.
I'm probably about 2 inches behind Grelic as the two of us disappear into the tunnel.
Science!
Yeah. He leads you along this hallway, and for a moment it feels almost like he's led you out into an open air room, onto this long platform, but it's not. It's just huge, huge room underground, and he indicates to this 2-meter wide stone pentagon with blue energies coursing across its surface, and he indicates to this transmitter, this is what has been damaged. This from the gravimetric storms. It's not what I wanted to show you. And he gestures out to this huge room that's so dark. And then he sort of gestures and waves a hand over part of the way, and lights come on all around the edge of the room. And what looked like just like dark kind of walls immediately light up to show you, as far as you can see, going down into the ground, all around and up for another 100 or so meters, rows upon rows of connected pentagonal sarcophagus. attached to the walls of this pentagonal room, so massive that you cannot see the base down. Thousands of them. Very faint blue energy courses up and down the walls after he's activated the settings. And he looks at you. These are mine to safeguard. These are the Tikali. I am their ward. I have failed them. But with your help, I can save them. We could save them all.
How may we assist?
I need you to help me. There are a number of tasks that need to be completed to reset this, and then I can use the transportation array to take my charges to a safer location. But I cannot be in enough places at once to fix this. I need somebody to reconnect some of the broken connections further down, and he gestures down the way. And then he gestures behind him. I can instruct somebody on how to reboot the power regulator back in the main chamber. And then also, we should watch where somebody must reboot the primary power regulator, and he gestures to another destination. So there are 3.
If something need fixing, then I suggest and I pick up my tools.
Mm-hmm.
I get to it.
Okay, so he points away. He makes a gesture in the air, and you see like this map. And much to your dismay, it involves climbing down a very long ladder.
Right.
Keep your comms channel open, Tosh.
At all times.
I will supervise from up here.
Good luck with the energy systems.
Yep.
Keep comms open with the ship as well while we're here.
I'll do the triple tap.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to head off and do that. He then says, "Would somebody be able to go and reboot this secondary power regulator?" That he gestures.
I'm okay at engineering. I'll give it a go.
All right, Senon's going to do that. And then he looks at Resh and Grelek and says, "Then we shall do the final task together. Let's hope you are as good as you think you are." And
We are! I shout back
Willing
down
to
the
be
corridor
tested.
far away.
gestures.
I usually try to be more inspiring than that.
Okay, Tosh. I need a fitness and security, difficulty 3,
Oh dear.
to get down to this
Right,
location.
Tosh.
Get down
Want
in
to
one
use
piece.
my security rating instead of yours?
Can you do that?
I've got collaboration security. That means that if I stand there and like shout helpful pointers at you, like
Left
don't put
hand,
your
right
foot on the
hand, left
wonky
hand,
one.
right hand.
I have to admit, I'm not one for helpful pointers, but if it's going to mean I don't die falling down this ladder, then maybe
Well, I have
that's a good idea.
security 5.
Okay, so
Cool.
is that what Resh does rather than run back with Grelek and the assessor? She stands at the top with a
If
torch.
I'm more needed there, I'll go where I'm needed because I'm not technical. Fixing stuff is not my jam. I'm basically going to be babysitting all 3 of them.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you shine your torch. You don't leave your.
I'll shine my torch. I'll be the comms relay, but you're the technical specialists. My job is to keep you all alive.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Absolutely. So
That's
so what
handy.
is the talent called?
I have collaboration security.
Ah, there we go.
When an ally attempts a task in security, I can spend a momentum to let them use my number.
Oh, there you go.
So if I spend momentum,
just-
you use security 5.
And Sharadol just gave me a reroll. So whack one in the. That's don't spend any momentum. We've just done it.
That's the
Alright.
momentum, yeah.
There we go. Cool. All right. So yeah,
So
difficulty.
I modify my security up to 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well. That'll make it easier on Foundry, won't it?
There we go.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to spend a momentum to get an extra dice? Roll 3 dice.
how many momentum have we got? Yes.
3.
Yes.
Got 3
I
right
would
now.
Yeah,
like
go
to
for it.
do that if that's okay with everybody.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, my security was 2, so that's not great. Do that. I don't really have any foci that would apply to this, but can I use my value exploring to push the limits?
Absolutely. This is
Yeah,
definitely pushing the limits of Tosh and his new spine.
Yeah.
Maybe the new spine will help.
Right. Here we go.
Servos wheezing like an asthmatic.
4 successes.
Oof.
Wow.
I slide down the ladder.
Yeah, with Resh
On your
giving you
spine.
pointers. Maybe there's a like a flashback to you grumbling through a rock climbing section with Resh.
Holodeck. Yeah.
Just being like, no, just it's like 3 inches below you. Just put your foot down. You know, that kind of just trust me sort of thing.
Gonna fall.
Or maybe that was something that we started at the start of the show, so we can hark back to it at that moment.
Meanwhile, Grelek
Perfect.
appears on rocket boots.
Yeah.
I'm
So you do that.
supervising.
Tosh should have something like magnetic in his spine, so he just sort of leans back against it and
And
floats.
slides down.
Yeah.
And as you make your way down, you can see when you get to the bottom of these, a few of these sarcophagus have fallen and broken this circuit connection. So I'm afraid it's another fitness test, but this one is fitness engineering difficulty 1, to be able to move things to the right place and get things reconnected appropriately.
Okay. Wow. Here we go. The most physically demanding role I had to do.
Love it.
Okay.
Pick the thing.
Difficulty 1.
Just difficulty 1, because you can
Okay.
apply like levers and stick a big wrench in it. Ah, it's easy.
Oh.
That's new spine. Giving you a new
Yeah,
lease
like.
of life. Yeah. Excellent. So you spend some time hefting, and you can see that these strange creatures, strange humanoids inside these sarcophagus, through like this sort of sheen, it almost looks like they have a slight crown of bone, quite pale features and dark hair. As you're looking there,
They're not bald with a bone ridge round their head.
No, they're not Bajoran.
No. Okay.
They're not
okay.
Bajoran. Like a bit like Bajorans with hair, though.
You mean Minbari?
Minbari.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the one. Gosh, I knew what you meant. So
So he's not one of the Tilakal. He's just a
No.
different alien altogether.
completely- These look
Just like
no
weird
taller,
other being.
no taller than a human, or a
Slightly
Vulcan.
taller than a Tellarite then.
Yeah, a bit taller than a Tellarite, a bit over, bit wrongly proportioned for a normal person.
Yeah.
But yeah, taller than not the 3 meter tall person like
Okay.
Tredic.
Just checking.
Different race entirely. Meanwhile, who went off? So Thenon went off to go and reboot the secondary power regulator. Yeah.
Yep,
All right.
I did.
So you went off down a different way. You can see this thing, this huge sort of stone-looking obelisk contraption, and
Okay.
blue kind of light coming through it. Tredic gives you vague instructions, and you get a strange idea of like gestures you need to perform before going in and pressing parts of the rock. You're not entirely certain whether you're going to get electrocuted or not, like
Oh, well.
Tosh.
Seen a briefing.
Yes, you've seen
Yeah.
the briefing. And this would be a reason and engineering task, difficulty 2.
Does the briefing help? Does he know where not put his trotter?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I will say, because we have encountered this kind of thing, it'll be difficulty 1. We'll reduce the difficulty by 1 for Thenon.
Thank you for purchasing Alien
Yay.
Teleportation World technology.
Mm-hmm.
Please enjoy this manual and the companion manual, and you will see many thousands of years of successful alien teleporting.
Can I,
Void.
because like at this point we're trying to save an entire species. Can I add my value? It's my job to keep people safe.
Absolutely, yes. All the values out tonight.
And I'm, well, I suppose with that I should be okay-ish.
It's only difficulty 1, and using a value
Yeah,
will give you
come
2
on.
successes. So you have just
Precisely,
succeeded.
So, yay.
There we go. Succeeded with style.
And 2 extra points of momentum
oh, yeah,
from
no.
Yeah,
the crowd.
5.
which
There
we
go.
need.
All right. So
The
with
Romulans.
a moment of trepidation, you kind of reach forward, brace for some sort of electrocution. Doesn't happen. Yeah, we need to get a headband for you. And then you see lights now. Instead of this blue light sort of cascading around, it runs through the system, and you hear in your head like Tredic, like, yes, excellent. Brelek stood in the main area with Tredic. He is over on one side of the room, and he gestures to you, and he says, "We must do this simultaneous. We should," and you get like an array of ideas on how to function, how to move the things. But it's still going to be a reason engineering task, a difficulty 3, to overcome the strange information and also dive in and fix the stuff.
And do all the Bollywood dancing moves that you need to do to open the...
Is
And lick it at the end.
most peculiar. There may be some licking. Yes.
Before and after.
Warm it up. After all, as I have been taught. Right. Reason and engineering, you say? Sure, not science?
No, absolutely engineering this time, I'm afraid.
Okay. Does it involve a computer?
No.
Damn it.
You can grab a momentum.
Yeah. Take 3 momentum if you want to cut 2 more dice.
I could use a value,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking the manual does not cover everything.
Does
Fits
not.
for this one.
Does not.
So we'll do that, and then we'll see how we go. Really.
Right.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Boopity beep.
Boop, boop, boop. How does momentum work again? I get another
You get an
dice.
extra
You get
die.
an extra dice.
Oh, go on then. If I may, I will.
Of course you can.
I don't think I've burned any yet. So.
Yes.
Bada boom. Hey!
Nice.
Yeah. We get
Yeah,
that
we'll take that.
momentum back. And Tredic, you can hear him both audibly and in your head, like shrieking with joy. He looks at you. He says, "You are truly a formidable gestalt of people. I could not have done this alone, and I must see to the Tikali." And he you know, as then and as you're walking back up the corridor with Resh and Tosh, he comes at you from the other way, like, you know, make a whole sort of thing. And that's when
Feel free to see to the Romulans.
yeah, that's when the Thunder Child is like, Captain Thenon, we're doing our best up here, but a shuttlecraft has got through. You've got incoming.
Yes!
Ashton, do you think you can handle a shuttlecraft?
We'll do our best. We've never really. Yeah. Okay. We'll have a go.
I think
Point the
Resh is just
phases
toting
up
the
and
phase
fire.
4 at this point.
Oh, yeah! This
Probably
bad
needs
boy's
to
got a
fire
fold-out
into the atmosphere.
tripod. Click.
Oh, you're gonna do it from things.
Yes.
All right. I don't have the stats. Do you have the stats for it there?
I don't have the stats for it. I think I might have actually made it up.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think you did.
Okay. This is Resh.
But it seems like it should be a thing that
Why don't you
does
have like that
exist.
mini photon launcher like Worf had in Insurrection?
Didn't he? He had that cool shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Ashton is like, all right, we'll give it a go, and Resh begins running to get to the Ashton to press the buttons. Is that what
Oh, no, I
happens?
don't mind doing it from here
Okay.
with a shoulder-mounted one.
Okay. I don't think that exists.
Just sit
It
on
must
the
do.
back
I mean,
of
it doesn't
the...
make sense for there to not be. If you think about it, you just strip the phaser down from a shuttlecraft and you'd stick it on a tripod, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one in Nemesis.
Yeah,
Worf's on it.
Yeah,
on the back of the Argo.
precisely. That's what I was just thinking.
Okay. Sure.
I'm sorry, I realised that that's me making you make work because now you have to think about what it might do.
No, it's all right because I know what's about to happen next.
Okay.
That's encouraging, isn't it?
We all die.
No, all right. So the Aston begin sorting out, shooting the stuff from above. Assessor Tredick, you can hear like this strange rumbling hum come from further down the corridor.
The planets can disappear.
Yeah,
That's always good.
Is everything okay?
And wherever you are, you see a massive beam of energy pulsing from the corridor behind you up to the stars above. The Venture and the Akira, the Thunderchild, you hear them, but the noise is deafening. It rips into space up above, spilling out every color of the rainbow possible, cycling through the spectrum in countless hues and shades you never thought could exist, and carry the scent of 100,000 flowers. Swirling vortices on the planet and aboard the starships, approximately humanoid size, while those appearing in space are large enough even for the Galaxy-class vessel to pass through. You take in this spectacle, a feminine form appears in front of each vortex simultaneously, presenting the same message to everybody at the same time. The tall humanoid alien, clad in a form-fitting dress with what appears to be wings on their back and a small sweeping crown around their head. They have short, dark hair and wide open eyes that are solid blue, with no evidence of an iris or a pupil. As they take the full shape within the shimmering light, they reach a hand out towards you, either in greeting or supplication. Friends, well met. I am Ash Tamala of the displaced Tikal. My people and I need your help. We've been trapped for countless millennia in this broken dimension, and we must escape. Prismatic lights flicker and nearly go out, then surge back. The stress on Ash Tamal's face is palpable as the light flickers, as if they are making some effort to keep the vortices open. We are out of time. We cannot further hold open the way. Take my hand, please. And they reach out towards each of you. The same face.
There's no way this ends well.
Take the hand.
Starfleet protocol would dictate that we help the civilization.
So
I will put out my hand.
One of my other values is literally seek out the new worlds over the horizon, so I'm definitely grabbing.
I'm going to take the hand.
Also science.
Fortune favors the
it's
bold.
not a great idea, probably, but
Reach
We're
out.
all doing it.
here we go.
Reach out.
We all get possessed by space aliens.
Yay!
And as
Index
Thenon's
saves us.
blue
Fine
hand
well.
clasps onto this like paled skinned things, the screen goes black and we roll to credits.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
That's it. That's where this one ends.
Ooh.
I'm really liking this, but I do feel like it would be better if we'd ran it in TOS. Got a very TOS feel to it.
It has got a TOS feel to it.
Really liking it. But that's where the coming storm ends, folks. Thank you very much for playing games with us. We will find out where we reappear after taking the displaced Tikali's hand.
Probably
Another
in
time.
the storm.
In the storm. Yeah.
Fighting.
Fighting.
In the mirror universe.
Yeah, it's not coming anymore. It's here now.
It's here. It's
Yeah.
arrived. Yeah. Maybe don't lick the Tikal, I think is what Asheridal's saying. Don't lick them.
Really?
Don't lick them.
But for science.
Ask them first.
Yeah.
Well, yes, consent. We're
Yeah.
back
Oh,
to
yeah.
ethics
There you
again.
go.
Ethics, yeah.
If
yeah.
they're fine with it and you're fine with it.
There are
Okay.
5 hands tied to a rail,
Should you lick one?
and a trolley is bearing down on them.
Where is the emergency medical ethics hologram?
Having some sort of ethical dilemma.
On the ship, that's the problem. We didn't
on the
bring it with
ship.
us.
Ship? No, we
Oh,
did.
need
It's on the planet.
mobile emitters.
Yeah. We need to go
Yeah.
into the past. No. Yeah. I'm confused at how we got them mobile emitters. Something to do with going into the future, then coming into the past, and then
Someone
keeping
from
them.
the future
They
when they
went-
came past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went back
From the
to stop him.
29th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it's
One of
confusing.
those
So it makes sense.
The Axis
Time
portable
protect free
emitter
people.
is 29th century technology, which
Yeah.
is why when it gets infected by
Borg.
Borg
Usually the Borg.
nanoprobes, it creates that mega
Yeah.
Borg,
Okay,
One.
Yeah.
I am one.
Yeah.
who then completely
a great
F's up
episode.
an entire
It's a good
cube.
episode, but it is a
Yeah.
little bit the one where Data makes a daughter.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always one in every
And
series.
it is. We never spoke about it again.
Never mention
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
That seems to be a reoccurring theme on Voyager.
Except for Janeway's dogs, who she talks about for the entire first series.
And then never again.
That was her
And then
boyfriend
never
she was
speaks-
talking about.
No, she was talking about the dogs.
I
She
know.
was about how much she missed her dogs, never how much she missed her boyfriend. Besides, she didn't need her boyfriend. She had that Irish guy from the Holosuite
A boyfriend.
until
Yeah.
they never spoke about him
All the
again.
things I
Until they
missed.
never ran that holosuite again. Anyway,
Everybody
folks.
loves this holo program.
Anyway, folks,
That's
thank you
just
very
for
much.
2 Vics.
Thank you for playing Star Trek with me. It's late. I'm trying to end the stream.
Live long and prosper.
Be good.
Peace and long life.
It's Thursday. In a few hours' time, get the
Friday.
glorious
Oh, yes.
Delta Green.
Yeah,
Has-
Visid Part 8.
This is part 8. There's going to be bears. Probably going to be frantic Starbucks
Death.
phone calls, death, all kinds of. I'm looking forward to watching this one. This is gonna. It's been a hard 2 weeks without Visid. But yeah, in a couple of hours, Garbalag North America will be taking over playing Visid, Delta Green, part 8, and then tomorrow, back in GMT, Masks.
It is, yes, with guest starring Roger,
Yay!
The
As-
Delinquent.
a delinquent.
That's
Appropriate.
awesome. I'm looking forward to
I don't know
it.
if any of them are watching tonight. I don't think they are. Oh no, Aaron is, so I can't tell you
Aaron is,
anything
yeah.
about what's coming up.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Secrets.
Spoilers.
Secret spoilers. So there, yeah, we have Delta Green in a few hours' time, and then Masks tomorrow, and that's the end of the week because we're gonna have a rest at the weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'll
Yay.
be back on Monday with Twig.
Twig.
Twig 49.
Twig 49. Oh gosh,
Wow.
that's frightening. Twig 49, and then we can tell you about the rest of the week there.
Yep.
Thank you very much for joining us, folks. We've been Garblag Games. Have a good night.
Ah!